Keep on. No, go ahead. Continue what you were
I
saying.
was trying to.
Go ahead.
But I couldn't, actually. I ran out of words to say.
Why couldn't you? Because you proved my point?
No, I'm not done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm waiting.
Once I find more words to say.
Once you find more words.
I'm gonna just cut all that. Well, cut all that.
No.
Go back to
Too
stage one. You cannot tell me about my own stupidity and how much I can say. What we talking about?
Your stupidity.
You were doing slam poetry for a second.
Yeah, you cannot tell me about my stupidity and how much I got left.
Are you sure about that?
I have a question. Are we allowed to smoke?
We are not, unfortunately.
Okay.
You gotta go in the car.
Little nephew Few is upstairs. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, what's up, y'all?
Caught all of that.
What the
Caught all of
fuck?
that. Caught all of it.
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, that sucks.
You're an absolute piece of shit.
Hey, bro, I was so into it with Ray.
I swore you were still doing fucking mic checks. Yeah.
Nope.
What the fuck?
I said we was ready.
Last I heard was fucking. Oh yeah.
Josh,
check this mic.
did I not say we're ready to go, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry. I feel way better. Sorry about last time, guys. I was feeling like shit that day.
Good.
Yeah, I was not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not
I felt bad for you, my guy.
I was not feeling hot. That was a rough.
Welcome
day.
back, everybody.
Yeah, welcome back though.
To Weebs in the Hood.
We back.
Ready for that run back. What you Why?
Shoot, man.
Yeah, it's over.
Why though?
It's over it.
That's why you were aiming for this thing.
No, I didn't. No, it wasn't. It was right on your face.
That's not on my
Birthday
face.
That is on
niggas.
your
Yeah, that's why you just
Birthday
moved
niggas
it.
gotta shoot, nigga.
Yeah.
By the way, Tone, happy birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
For those of y'all niggas who didn't know.
Day after his stream.
Yeah, we was partying it up.
pussy.
slinging some magic cards and drinking brand.
Boy, that Davion beat my ass that last game, man. Now that I'm not super high, I couldn't really congratulate him the way I wanted to. I was just so fucking high and tired.
It's that human tribal deck, dog. There was no congratulations for me. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I just looked at him. I was like,
the first time I played against it, it didn't do as great.
okay, yeah.
So that's why when he killed me on basically turn 4, I was like,
I ain't gonna lie though. That's why, because that time you did play. Because I remember that time his deck didn't do a whole lot. Because I made the comment to him because he was upset. He was like, "Man, I wasn't doing shit," and I was like, "Good," because me, Ray, Jordan, and fucking Josh saw how that deck was when he first bought it, and we were like, "Nah, fuck that deck."
Man, I know now. Public enemy number 1. That one right there is.
I don't know, man.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Damn, Dob, you getting called out.
Was stressing me out.
Fuck
Yeah,
on
Ovika's
Ovika
a
stresses you out on turn 7 or 8 though. This nigga killed me on turn 4.
I ain't gonna lie, yeah.
I'm still playing.
If I can start off, if it's Ovika versus Karlov, and I come out with like a strong.
Oh yeah, you win it.
I got
every
Ovika
single
in the
time.
bag.
Every single time.
That's why I was telling Christian last night, because Christian was like, "Man, them decks are crazy." I was like, "Bro, I did not play Karlov at all last night. It was strictly Alayla." Just because I wanted to see how Alayla was going to run.
Yeah,
I know Ovika can do better than Alayla in producing tokens, but I wanted to see with the new additions I put in Alayla, I wanted to see if Alayla could put out beefier tokens than you could put out numbers.
I had Mirko sitting on the side, but I only used Atraxa last night.
I got you.
Yeah. It was only Atraxa.
Mirko gives me nightmares, bro. I don't care what anybody says.
That man's a problem.
Mirko, that deck is a problem.
See, I can't wait to face your Ovika deck with my Narset just because I want to see. Narset and Adrix and Nev, they both got words for Ovika.
I'm going to try and make some changes to
Only
my
time
shit.
Ovika is a problem if I somehow get her out on turn 4 or 5. That's the only time she's a problem. Because turn 4 or 5, that's 7 mana.
Yep.
So at that rate, I can cast anything I want. That's the only time. Like, I've not been successful, as y'all have seen. I have not been successful at all. I think it was like that one game I got her out on turn 4.
Yeah.
That was it. I've not been successful at all.
Was it a
Yeah.
Soul Ring start?
Yep.
Yep, makes sense.
Sure was.
Yeah,
Sure
he
was.
was like, it was a Soul Ring start. It
It was
was.
a Soul Ring start leading into a not a Wayfarer's bottle, but a
Another rock.
It's like a Pharaoh stone.
yeah, and what? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a
Yep.
Fair Wars. I was literally thinking about it because you played it again last night, and I like leaned forward. I was like, and it was like a turn 3. Though. I just looked forward and I saw his rocks on the board. I was like, I'll see you over there. I'll see you over there being real quick. And I don't know if you peeped the next game, the very next game we were playing it. I had enough mana to cast a Layla, but I kept casting all these little rocks, and I peeped Tone leaned forward, and then he leaned back, and I was like, don't worry about it. I was like, don't sweat nothing. When Layla comes out, though, shit gonna go boom. I'll tell you that right now. Fuck.
Man.
But I say, no, yeah, man, fucking a lot of shit's been going on. Happy Thanksgiving to all the
Yeah.
viewers.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
I was about to say, you guys are gonna get a little Christmas gift from us. You know, we might have a little something in the
Christmas
wink, wink, nudge, nudge, little Christmas present for y'all. But I'll tell you what, dude, fucking, we've been getting blessed. Speaking about Christmas presents, we've been getting blessed recently with fucking anime. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, dog.
Have y'all stayed up with JJK?
JJK is pretty fire. There's, I want to point this out.
What's up?
This is Netflix has been like on a tear,
On
on an absolute tear.
Now, can we talk about this tear? Like, what aspect of the tear are you referring
Their
to?
animation is, bro. Castlevania just dropped.
Right.
Fire.
Season 2?
The newest Castle. They dropped. I think it's season 4. It's
What?
like it was a whole new season of Castlevania. Yeah, just dropped.
Oh,
fire.
bad.
Absolutely fire.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Absolutely fire. That drop. Pluto.
When? Oh, Pluto!
Gas.
Absolutely.
I've been keeping up with
So
Pluto.
Tone, so yeah, nah. Shout out Tone because Tone put me on the
Tone
Pluto,
put me on it.
and
I'm
I ain't gonna
trying to
lie.
tell y'all, bro.
I ain't gonna. It was right before I started watching the dogs. Like literally, he was like, "Bro, you gotta check it out." And I watched the first 3 episodes, and the next day, I literally was like, "Bro, that shit hit." He was like,
It
Yo.
brings
I was
out
like, it
all
is
that
different.
Childhood reminiscing memories that you had of Astro Boy, but they just
Man, fuck that. Fuck that. Just on its by
storyline-
itself.
The storyline
Goated.
itself,
Yes.
the storyline itself, the way the story presents itself and unfolds, and how the plot reveals itself, alone, the storytelling in it is great. The animation for Netflix anime, good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm not gonna
Very
listen.
aesthetic.
Listen,
I've been
Netflix has
telling-
made trash. We
Yes.
have seen it. So from the trash we've seen on Netflix to Pluto, it's good. Like
Samurai
it's-
with the blue eyes.
Yes.
Pretty good.
So I have seen like one episode.
I've only
of it.
seen like one episode
Yeah,
as well.
I've seen one episode of it, but from what I've seen so far,
I'm
it
gonna
looks
watch
okay.
it.
I feel like the storytelling in it is going to be slow, but I feel like overall it's going to be solid.
Yep.
They made
But just
another
you can
one, though.
just from that first episode, that animation quality in the Samurai with the blue eyes is there.
They made another one, and I can't remember what it's called. It's like Damon or Damon or
Yeah,
whatever.
I haven't
So-
seen that one yet,
so
but it
listen.
looks good.
It looks good.
The plot could be
Really
cool. The plot could be cool.
I haven't
The
watched shit from
animation-
Netflix.
The animation bugs me, and that's what I wanted to talk about, the tear, because I feel like they've been going on a good rip.
We were
Pluto.
gushing on
Pluto.
Pluto.
Yeah,
You
we
were
were gushing
talking
on
about
Pluto.
Netflix's anime tear.
Yeah, Damon. But like real quick, so like when you're taking a piece of paper and you're getting that real like nice fine line tear, that's like your Pluto. Everything that's been coming out with Damon, I feel like the plot. Listen, like I said, the plot could be solid. The animation though, I feel like is a little bit more abstract than what they've put out recently. So I'm not too hype about it.
definitely one.
But
That's definitely
I would say
100% fair.
also
Yeah,
another
I give you
reason.
that one.
but
One more reason why Netflix has been going on a tear.
right.
Scott Pilgrim,
Yes,
and they acquired Zom 100.
they did.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. Zom 100.
Zom 100 is
Netflix.
probably the only one that I've been watching that's been on
How you
there.
liking
That's
it?
recent. I like
It's,
it. I think it's
yeah,
good.
it's
I think
pretty
it's
good.
good.
It's
I'm on like
fucking
episode
great.
5. I ain't gonna lie. I've been
It's-
taking it very slow.
My girl actually got me when she told me about it when it first got on there, and she's like, "We should watch it." And her and I watch it every week. It's been a few weeks since I've watched it, but I like it. It's pretty good.
I read the manga. The manga's solid.
I haven't watched anything else though that has been coming up on Netflix, and they just announced recently that Arcane season 2 is coming next year, so that I'm excited for.
The Scott Pilgrim show, dog.
That I need to. I've been seeing clips and shit from that.
It's so good.
Yeah.
The animation choice that they made and how they managed to pull it off, they did a really good job.
They really did.
I'm not gonna lie, they did a really good job.
It's very faithful to the source material while doing its own thing, which is pretty. It's pretty like they were able to capture the essence of what Scott Pilgrim.
Well, that
is.
and they had basically all the actors voice their characters from the live action.
God, I love Knives.
So
I'm just gonna say this.
I saw Knives and I was like, oh, she's so cute. I was like, she's
my
perfect.
kaiju, Gamera. That's
How they're animating that. I am so fucking ready. That nigga be putting in work. Them niggas be putting in work in kaiju number 8, dog. That show gonna be bang.
I will say this for us DC and Marvel heads. What If season 2 on Disney Plus should be dropping in like 3 weeks.
I seen the trailer for it, and the trailer
nobody
looked.
talk to me.
The trailer looked good.
Trailer looks good.
I was say the trailer looks good, man.
I can't wait for that, but that's pretty much the only hype thing I am for Marvel.
Invincible right now is going.
Oh,
fuck.
my
I knew
God.
one of us was gonna say it.
Invincible is
I
going crazy right
I
now.
haven't seen it because I don't. So what platform is it on?
It's on Amazon,
Amazon
Prime.
Prime.
Yeah, it's worth it, dog. Hold up.
If you find-
I will let you
I was gonna
use
say,
mine.
if you find someone with
Are you
Prime,
gonna let him use his?
if you find someone
I
with
got some- I
Prime,
just
you
watch
can
everything
add your
for-
account, and you can get their benefits.
Yeah, do you have Amazon Prime?
I used to.
Bet I'll give you my Amazon Prime Video because you need
So,
to watch Invincible.
I saw the first season. And I've seen clips of this. I saw what Mark did to what's her face, bro. Where he, bro, because listen, I've read the comics, so here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. So I know what's coming. Bro, Mark about to get it handed to him, bro.
Oh yeah,
But
That's all he's done.
But here's the thing, bro. When he rolled up on Eve, ain't that's her name? Eve. Yeah, when he rolled up on Eve, bro, he snapped her. I remember I was watching it with Jess. Yeah, shout out Jess. She's someone who watches the podcast. But I was watching it with her, and I remember the moment Mark snapped her neck. I just pumped, and I just started laughing, and she was like, "That's really fucked up," and I was just like. It is, but it really ain't.
And then it
this
gets
is
like Mark
darker.
really
Well,
don't
this
want to
is-
kill her, dog. And
This
I
is
get
like
it.
spoiler territory
Yeah,
a little
huge
bit.
spoiler.
So I'm gonna say that, like, that's if you're only watching the show right now. They've basically made it aware that there are many other universes, except the one where the show takes place. Every other universe. Omni-Man and Mark team up and they take over Earth for the Viltrumites.
Almost every last one of them.
Eve is on the Resistance, and instead of killing her, Mark paralyzes her.
100%.
It had me stuck. He was like, I was trying to figure out what the
What
fuck he was
the-
doing to them
the-
protesters.
yeah,
I was like, bro,
when
stop
Omni-Man said that, I was like, God damn.
I was like, bro, stop.
All them poor protesters. He was like, "Oh, they do it."
Yo, Omni-Man still ain't shit, dog. That nigga still ain't, bro.
Dog.
When Mark found out he had a brother, dog,
I
wasn't
he
ready.
said, are you for real, Dad?
I wasn't even ready for
I
that,
still-
dog.
I still want
Reading
to
that
talk.
in the comic, I wasn't ready.
Yeah,
for
I
it.
wasn't ready
want
for
to
that
talk
neither in the
about
comic.
Lucan.
Yeah.
I still want to talk about Lucan because this
God.
nigga Omni-Man gutted him.
Dog.
He went, swiped the man's stomach, spilled his guts out. He was gone for like
Look.
10 minutes. The nigga shows up at the end of the episode,
Ready for everything.
knocks the fuck out of Omni-Man with his guts in his hand, and goes, the next time you kill someone, make sure they're dead, and then passes out. I'm like,
What?
what the
Hey,
fuck?
hey, nigga stood on toes though the whole time.
I'ma just say this.
Nigga
The worst
stood on
part
toes though the whole time.
The
This
worst
Jack
part is
Thomas shit.
Omni-Man, like when he killed Lupin, he sliced his guts open and then pinned him to a wall through his guts.
Yes.
This nigga unpinned himself, wrapped his guts up
In his shirt.
and said, "All right, I'm gonna go fold this nigga real quick."
Right.
I was
Yep.
like, "What?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then
You
literally
best believe
folded that
Vegemite
nigga in
nigga.
half.
You best believe if a nigga did that for me, and I had enough energy to at least get myself out of that predicament and go back and continue to run fade. You
I'm
better
doing it.
believe.
Oh, yeah, I'm
you
doing it.
better
The one
believe I'm
thing-
a
Whoop your ass.
I will say-
I'm gonna get all of these
Out of
entrails
all
on your
the
shit,
fuckery
bro.
that has been happening in the show anyway, I'm happy that now we actually start to see the Mark is gonna get his ass whooped coming up.
We
He
thought
gonna get a lot more
we
than
also
Way
we,
Gonna get a lot more than whoop.
we're
Bounce, chicken,
it's,
bounce.
it's two burns with one stone. So like yes, like he has really bad shit coming up for him, but also we seen in that episode he actually realized how strong he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
He when they were fighting and Omni-Man told him, he's like, look,
better stop
You
fucking
fight
holding
like you
back.
on Earth,
Yes,
nigga.
yeah.
Nah, he told him to lock in.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it
yes.
was.
He's like, you cannot fight like you are on Earth, because if you
Yeah.
do, you will die.
lose.
You will
Yeah.
die.
You are going to. We're all going to die.
They are trying to kill
And then
us.
this, like, because when he punched Luke in earlier, didn't do shit to
Yep.
him. He even punched baby girl, the bitch
Yeah.
with the
The with
razor
her?
in her hair.
Yeah.
Didn't do shit. And then when he locked
When he
in,
locked in, though, you saw Mark started teeing.
and then Mark, you can tell he had that subtle realization. He's
Yeah,
like,
he's
oh,
like,
I'm
yeah.
way stronger than I thought.
Yep.
Once he bopped her, grabbed her, and then threw her, he literally looked at her for a minute. He was like,
Oh, I got this.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
And the funny thing was, is he already had his ass whooped at that point in the
Yep.
fight. So I was like,
the Viltrumite durability is absolutely insane.
My thing
Yeah.
is
I
this,
love the
right?
Dutchmites, bro. They're
My
my
thing,
niggas.
right? My thing is this, right? If you're Mark, the crazy thing, like the one thing that does upset me about Mark a little bit is the level
How
of
bitch
character
made he is?
development. It's so slow. It's slow.
Oh my god!
Because think about
Yeah.
it.
you know
think
what I
about
compare him to? Because I've thought about this. You know, I compare him to seasons 1 through 3 Deku.
Yep.
That's what I.
That's
That's
exactly
how
what
I
it is.
compare him.
That's fair.
Damn, that's fair.
He's like
That's
Deku.
fair. That's accurate. But see, it's like here's the thing, right? Imagine you being in Mark's shoes, right? Once Omni-Man, like you know that Omni-Man is your blood. You know that, right? That alone in my mind, I'd be like, I'm above most niggas. Probably physically, right? After Omni-Man, your father beats the fuck out of you on that mountain. If you can walk it, granted it took him a while, but you still are the only nigga to really get faded by Omni-Man and survive that you know of, right? That alone would tell me I am literally the strongest nigga outside of Omni-Man. So therefore, if I meet a nigga who's close to Omni, if I meet a bitch or a nigga who is remotely same blood type as my father, oh, you best believe I'm coming to you with razor blades and lemon juice.
Especially,
beat your ass.
especially when they are taking you, like taking your father, they're not taking
Right.
him lightly. Like,
Right.
they're like, oh, bet.
Right? Yeah, they see an Omni-Man, they're like, oh
Let's run these
alright,
fades.
alright,
If
like,
they
we
coming
gotta
at,
lock
They
in.
really wasn't.
Yeah.
They really was trying to fuck him up.
Right.
Well,
So it's
that's
like-
the crazy thing though too, is like you have to think the Viltrumites they have an empire that scales basically
Solely off of
galaxies.
strength.
Yeah.
But also like in the show, because I know there's people that probably don't read the comics. In the show, they in the last episode, you were told the Viltrumites, they aren't what they all seem. They're more than just like a race of super people, basically. They are a scourge on the universe.
Right.
And
Conquer planets.
When-
Take over.
and to put it into perspective, the planet where Omni-Man was at, they sent 3 niggas. 3. That was
3.
it. They had a whole army. They sent 3 to the planet where Omni-Man was at.
Yep.
They weren't sweating shit.
Nothing.
So like that's what you have to like.
They
that-
said he's light.
yes,
They
yeah,
said this nigga's light. Three should handle this.
yeah, and that's the crazy. Like they knew Mark was there. They didn't even take
They
him
didn't
into
even. Yeah, they
consideration.
didn't even take into consideration about Mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. They were
Well,
just
think
like,
about it.
they were
After
like,
after
"You're
witnessing,
tested."
if you's a Viltrumite, right, that's not with Mark and Omni Man, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you're a part of the
the
colony,
the
right?
Viltrumite,
Yeah.
Empire right now.
Yeah, you're a part of the Empire, and your higher ups are pretty much showing you and telling you what happened to Omni Man and Mark, right? If I heard that Omni Man just beat his son's ass and now they're both together,
I'm not sweating that.
nigga, if I can beat Omni Man, I can sure as fuck beat Mark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in my mind, yeah, 3 niggas, I'd be like, all right, give me 3 niggas that are at least as strong as Omni Man. Go. Deal with that.
And it's
Just deal with them in numbers.
yeah, and it's the Viltrumites are just like, I mean, if y'all ever watched 300, it's just like the Spartans. The
Yeah.
weak die.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Off cusp.
yes,
Off cusp.
like if you are not
If you
able to hold
can't-
your
yeah,
own, that's
you're all-
it.
Yeah, you're dead.
And that's why I was surprised at the end of that episode. Homeboy came down from the ship. He goes, "Look, you survived your ass whooping, so you get to go back to Earth, hold your father's post that he abandoned, and we'll see you in a little bit. If you don't want to kill people to get them to follow us, that's cool. We'll kill them, and then we'll kill you. So see you later." And then he just dipped. And
Exactly
yeah,
what they told.
Imagine,
Right.
imagine,
Exactly.
What they told Omni Man.
imagine just being beat half to death, and then this cocky ass doctor walk up to you,
And then your father, who
slaps the shit out you.
and then your father, who you're kind of in the middle of making up with, just got snatched up and taken. Like, yeah, he's gonna get executed. Don't
Yep.
worry about him.
This man
So-
walks up to you. You try and say something. He slaps
And then he
the
punches
ever-
the fuck out of you while you're already on the ground. Like,
Says, "Shut up! I ain't tell you to talk."
and you got stabbed in the chest. So it's
And he's like, "All right, but you get back to Earth. I ain't gonna tell you how to, but you better figure it
And
fuck out."
That's the one thing too I want to put into perspective. In that scene when it showed Omni-Man leaving Earth right after he beat the fuck out of Mark, there was that scene where he was going through deep space and the nigga was just like drifting into a black hole.
Yeah.
Like willingly. I'm like, do you know how strong you have to be to just like
Stop.
And then he
Stop and
stopped the
sit.
shit.
Stop. Sit and stare.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was
He sat there unfazed, not
and he
moving.
was right there
Yeah, just looking at like
on the event horizon, just
Yeah.
staring at it.
Just
Not getting spaghettified, nothing. And then he saved the ship from going in there. That
the amount of
is
strength it has to physically hold
that
your
is an
strong.
unfathomable amount of strength.
and
That is
resistance.
Strong.
That is a lot. So
See.
I think that puts into perspective. Like, yeah, people were like, "Oh, who would win?" Obviously, Homelander, Omni-Man. Like,
Bro.
that's not a debate.
It was never a debate
not
even
Omni-Man-
before this season.
But I think when people don't realize Omni-Man is a lot, Viltrumites in
It's a
general
general-
are a lot stronger than
stronger.
people think.
That's why I constantly put him up against Kryptonians. And
Exactly.
people always say,
Hey,
"Dude,
he-
he would get the Kryptonians."
But you know
would
what
beat
it
them." And I'm
is,
just
though,
like,
Tone?
nah.
It's
No.
because Invincible.
Invalid.
It's because Invincible is such a new. It's a new landscape. People,
Niggas
people
are
aren't.
still trying to figure it out.
Exactly. People aren't gonna. They're not gonna put those two on the same. Superman's been around for fucking ever.
This is what I will tell people.
Yeah, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
Superman in most of his forms will body Omni-Man. Will he body other Viltrumites? No.
Well, but here's
In
the
his
thing,
most
though.
powerful forms,
Yeah.
he will.
Here's the thing, though. If that, because
But in his regular Superman, I'm only like chunking with like Darkseid's avatar.
we
that-
talked about
No.
we talked about like some OG like Viltrumites, right? Like Lucan's one of them.
Yep.
Like if they're that strong, and even with all the shit going on with Omni-Man and Mark and all that shit, even if that wasn't the case and they just kept progressing, even the newer, like the new age Viltrumites, they're gonna be stronger.
Yep.
Their race
And develop new
their
powers.
race is literally made to just enhance.
Not to mention other.
That's just how Viltrumites
sleep with
work.
Other races.
Exactly.
When they do that,
Exactly.
They built that inbred is stronger than most of the other.
Their potential. It's
Viltrumites,
why Mark holds potential. It's
which
why
is
he's so
why they
interesting.
have different powers. That makes me that lets
It's
you know
because
like
Mark
come
is
on.
a crossbreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. The Viltrumites have certain acceptable races that they are allowed to breed with.
Right. Humanoid.
Exactly.
half
They-
Humanoid.
Yes.
Ain't it?
Mark's
Being one of
brother.
Omni-Man a little weird for that one. He a little weird for that
Omni-Man
one.
weird.
I will say though, I do like Andressa.
Yes.
I do like. I think she's cool, but
She- still weird for
still
that.
a
He-
little weird.
Find out-
Fucking
I
a
mean-
mantis person.
We found out he can.
But listen, I
Have to ask
also
Omni Man if that pussy
Well,
hit different.
I did some research. I was watching a video because they were explaining how that's possible. Now, Viltrumites they're just insane.
yeah.
Their reproductive system, they literally engineered themselves millions of years, thousands or whatever years ago, generations ago, to where the man's sperm literally holds all the genetic material, so he can impregnate other women, women of other races, and it's a full Viltrumite.
And yeah, and they don't get
Women,
they don't get half the Viltrumite genes. They get
all of them. Women,
And that's why Mark is like
yeah, women. When the dude's sperm comes into them, that just basically tells their egg, all right, you can fertilize now.
So when Viltrumites and
That's how they can crossbreed.
the crazy thing
Yeah.
is though too, but when Viltrumites get together, when a female Viltrumite and a male Viltrumite get together, it just basically just 200% instead of 100.
Yeah.
It just doubles. So it's like
That's why purebred Viltrumites are so dumb.
yeah. That's why Lucan is a fucking animal.
In the Lord, in the Lord too, in the
Oh yeah, we ain't gonna talk about him. We ain't gonna talk. We gonna wait till the anime shows him off. Or yeah, because that won't be what till like season
That's a
4,
big old Broly.
or do you think it'll be the end of
that's
season
big
3?
old
That's a big old Broly
I
right
think that's
there.
gonna be like next season.
Do you think it'll be the end of season
That's
3?
gonna be next season.
End of season 3,
Okay.
Absolutely.
mid season 4 at the latest.
But I think people need to start putting together more credit for Invincible
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Viltrumite, like I said, Viltrumites, they are.
because we're not even going to talk about the fact that Viltrumites they end up getting other powers down the line besides just their raw strength and durability.
I will say this.
Like
I saw the craziest argument on the book the other day. It was Super Broly versus the Viltrumites. And I had to explain to somebody, I was like, look, Viltrumites are goated. They don't have the range powers to deal with Broly or most of the DB Super. Anybody past Boo. Anybody past Boo, the Viltrumites don't have that in them yet.
I hate putting DBZ against anything.
Exactly.
I hate it.
Like, so I'm like, Broly will, if he could walk up on Viltrum, their capital, and body all of them niggas like it ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're not.
His
They're
scaling
goaded, but they're
doesn't
not
even make
ready.
sense.
Now, some people will say that conflicts with how I said they could fight Superman. But Superman will body a lot of the Dragon Ball Z characters. Superman's strongest forms will body a lot of the Supermen.
Right.
Or a lot of the DBZ fighters. Base level Superman ain't shit when it comes to cosmic level fights.
Oh yeah, we've talked about
Yeah.
that though multiple times. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've talked about it multiple
Yeah,
times.
base level Superman ain't got it in.
Current New 52 Superman as he is right now, the animation after DCU, but the
Animation ain't got it.
still
Yeah,
ain't shit.
He ain't got it.
Base
doing
base
shit.
Superman against anything that's like multiversal, multidimensional, he's out of the question.
Yeah. Base Superman, if I were to
Yeah.
if I were to judge where he would be in the Viltrumite army, base Superman would probably be middle of the ranks, maybe a little above average, maybe like starting to climb up there. Because there are some niggas that will beat the absolute
Beat the
living
shit.
hell out of
And
base
people
Superman.
keep forgetting they them niggas are aiming to kill. They number one feat.
People
is
don't
they
understand
said in
what
the comic,
mentality
they
does.
Try to aim for the gut and plunge you through the gut with the one hand. That's what a lot of the Viltrumites
which is you see that every time you see
Every
Viltrumites
time.
running down on people on that show,
Every time.
they go straight for the fucking stomach.
Yep.
Straight to the stomach, man. Straight.
Well, yeah. Well, think about it.
They want to spill your guts. That
Think
is
about
what
it.
they
It's
do.
just, well, not just think about in the anatomy aspect.
They know
No,
that-
yeah, they
say it in
know.
the comics, right?
They
in the
know
comics.
they can fight through that.
Yeah.
You cannot.
Yeah, it's just skin. Way easier to break through skin
Way
than to break
easier.
through bone.
Yeah.
Superman ain't gonna be prepared for that.
Yeah, I will say
He will.
if they
He's not
land that
prepared
on
for that.
Superman, he can't fight that.
He's gonna hurt.
He don't
like
have the
fuck.
he don't have the
Doomsday killed him.
he don't have the experience to fight through that level of pain, and he don't have like base level Superman. He does not have the mentality to fight through that amount of pain of your guts are spilling out of your body. let me just wrap that around and continue to throw hands. He ain't got it.
He
in
would
him.
panic before anything.
Yeah, I don't think
He's gonna be on
Superman
the
got that
ground
dog like
gushing,
that.
and as he's
Viltrumites-
on the ground trying to hold himself together.
The one
he's
thing
not
about
gonna stop.
Viltrumites don't panic. They don't crumble under pressure.
They just take it
Yeah.
and proceed.
If they're getting their ass whooped, they gonna take that ass
Even
whooping
when-
and they
love
gonna
it,
come
too.
back.
When what's her face got her fucking jaw cut off, there was no look of fear or nothing.
Yep.
It was just
She got up and was
It's like you got me.
that's it.
Yep.
And you're like, damn.
Yeah, basically.
He was like, that was a nice lick, huh?
yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna get my run back. Don't
He
worry.
was
That's what I be
like,
saying. I'm like, man, y'all really think?
nah, they be on their Hanma tip. They on their
Yeah.
Jack Hanma tip at all
Exactly,
times.
they're
We
all
not
like-
done.
It's like
We're
if
not
Yujiro
done.
Hanma
If I
was like-
breathe,
yeah.
if I breathe, the fade is not over.
Yeah.
It's not. Like, it's not. That's not really just.
If I
Nah, these
regain
Viltrumites is
consciousness, they
different.
It is. We're running it back.
And I think they even said something in the show. There ain't no vengeance like Viltrumite vengeance
No.
because they will live
It's
with
to
that.
the death.
Yes.
It's to the death.
you ran my fade 10 years ago, man. It
It don't matter.
sucks.
You run across a
Fuck that.
galaxy. another
Viltrumites are like
dimension.
You ran my fade a few thousand years
Yeah,
ago.
exactly.
I
I'm coming
remember
back.
that.
I'm coming
I'm
back.
coming
Come
back.
here.
I'm coming back. Wait till I get strong. I'm
You
coming
thought,
back.
you thought you was gonna fly a billion light years across the galaxy, and I was gonna run your fade back.
You thought you was gonna go to another galaxy? No.
He was like,
You
no,
thought
just
you was gonna try to split into another dimension? Nah, nigga, I'm still here.
because they're that confident. They'll be like, okay, no, you can run across the
Right.
galaxy, go to a different universe if you feel like it. Oh wait,
It's like,
because things ain't gonna work out there for you,
You'll
and I
be
know
back.
that for sure.
he's like, he'll be back.
You'll be back. They always come back.
You'll send some of your space crew over there.
Yeah, exactly. Are we gonna talk about fucking what's his name? What's his name? Kevin?
Kevin.
I fucking dog.
Dog, Kevin's
I'm
funny.
gonna bring it up.
Kevin is so funny.
I love him, and I love that they chose Seth Rogen to play him. I love that. That was my favorite thing. I was like, yeah. Just got his ass pieced up in space real quick, and that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it.
Hey, he's coming back.
I know he is. He was
He's
on.
coming
He was
back.
on life support.
Yep, he's coming back. His
I want
story,
to say. I want to say a spoiler. So
I was about to
'cause
say-
me and you know.
his story is tragic.
What you talking about? Hold it.
It is. It is tragic. But
Well, what's his name? Alan the Alien.
Alan,
They
yeah,
gave
Alan
him,
the
bro.
alien.
Yeah,
Alan the alien. That's what it is.
yeah, Alan the
Alan the Alien.
Yeah, Alan the
Not
Alien.
Kevin.
but Alan the Alien.
Yeah.
The one-eyed nigga.
Yeah.
That motherfucking story is so tragic. That episode was funny as fuck. That episode, just in general, his backstory was funny. They were like, "Oh, and Mark about to get it on. Y'all,
Yeah,
don't,
I like
y'all
how-
don't need to see that.
I like
let's,
how-
let's come on over here."
Yeah, they go to Alan. Alan's about to get it on. They're like, "Oh, well, let's, Mark should be done now." They go back. Okay, well, Mark
Nope.
isn't done either. So we're gonna look at this cat.
Yep.
I was dying, bro.
Y'all definitely got to give Invincible a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's still a whole lot more shit to come too, dude. Like we're
Yes.
still
I was
waiting
like-
on fucking.
Yeah, I'll say anime in general has been doing really good.
Blue Lock.
Blue Lock.
coming out. I want to say in like 2 months.
Nagi.
Yeah, Nagi story.
Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 is fire,
Yeah.
as we said earlier. But here's the thing I want to ask y'all.
What's up?
It's officially finally over.
For what?
Attack on Titan is done.
Yeah.
Now that we can talk about the ending, I know a lot of y'all had the ending. A lot of us had already knew what the ending was.
Yeah.
What are y'all personal opinions on the ending?
A lot of people got put into a show hole at the end of Attack on Titan.
I didn't,
With all due
but
respect,
I knew it was coming.
is someone who knows how shitty show holes are. I'm sorry you have to go through that, but at the same time, like how I still don't get how like some people will be like, no, I'm gonna wait like 2-3 years after the manga's already done, and I'm gonna wait for that ending. And I'm like, dog, you could literally read it in like 5 seconds, and it's not, and you'll know everything you need.
I
to
will
know.
say this.
Granted, the animation was solid.
The animation, I
solid.
prefer,
Animation was solid.
because of the way the ending was set up. I preferred the anime's ending over the manga ending because it was executed more thoroughly and more masterfully. Just because you had music behind it,
Right.
The quality was better. But the reason I say that is because they did the most basic route, but they did it to perfection.
They copy pasted it.
It was
no.
everyone realized it was going to be a cycle, that it was going to restart.
Yup.
We prayed they weren't going to do that. They did it in the manga. People were like, don't do it in the anime. Please just give it a solid ending.
End it. Just end it.
And they didn't do it.
But see, here's
Other
the thing.
than that,
though.
it's a 10 out of 10 ending.
But
I'll
see-
give it that, but
Here's the thing, though, right? I think that the way that they ended it in the manga, yes, it left an opening for more to happen.
For more.
But
it's not gonna. I think
yeah, it's
the
dead.
author's done.
It's dead. Yeah. Like let's not. Yeah. Let me tell all the AOT fans that watch this podcast now.
It's over.
Attack on Titan is dead. There is no more. They did that for not only just a type of metaphor and assimilation to how the story originally began with the Titans,
Yep.
but also just to keep true to the manga. It's dead. I've seen a lot of people like, oh, they're kind of doing like a Sopranos thing where the tree's back, blah, blah. Nah, nigga, read the manga. It's dead.
Yeah, it's done.
dead.
Over it.
It's dead.
We're not getting any more.
It stopped. The cycle continues. That is the moral of it. The cycle is going to continue.
And the story is always going to be the same.
Yeah, and the story is always the same. It was come on, guys.
People,
like it's not.
They even hinted that this wasn't the first cycle.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too. Like a lot of Attack on Titan fans, I feel like after season 2, when they were starting to really understand like what was going on and the plot was starting to build heavily, right? I knew in my mind, in the back of my mind, I was like, this is going to be a huge metaphor to like the past always repeats itself if you don't learn from history, blase, blase, blase. And the moment they brought up the tree,
I knew it.
I was like, bet you it all started in that fucking tree when she ran in there, and she ran in there. Now she got a pot. I'm like, of course. The fucking tree of beginning. It always goes back to tree of beginning.
And look what happened at the end.
Yep, and look what happened at the
big
end.
old tree
Eric turned into a tree. All that war happened. Aaron's tree somehow survives through all of it. And a wandering boy
going on.
Yep, and the wandering boy and the dog make it all the way to that tree.
Mm-hmm.
Cycle repeats all over again.
all over.
It's. I mean, I'm not that big of an Attack on Titan fan, so I personally don't really care. But I feel like it kind of sucks when you have a world that has an expansive opportunity like Attack on Titan did, and what they give you is just like a repetitive thing. Kind of sucks.
Ray had some
bro, I thought I was
softcore
looking
porn
at
on
something
it.
different.
Yeah, I was like, Ray had the hub open. I know what you was doing up till 3 in the morning. But
yeah, I feel like that ruins because if people didn't know that's like how the story was going, I'd be like, if I was one of those people, I'd be like, man, I wonder like what else is going on in this world with all the fucking Titans are going on and all this other shit. But like, the story makes it very clear the Titans are the only significant thing that is happening.
Yep.
right. Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's no political drama. There's none of that. It's
Same power struggle bullshit.
exactly. It's the Titans. Everything was fine, and then the Titans came and they fucked everything up.
This world
That
is
was it.
perpetually locked behind the Titans, and it's actually a funny world building metaphor because the Titans are so powerful, but yet they're so destructive with their ability because they give the ability to basically annihilate themselves.
Yeah.
So that they can never progress past a certain point without getting annihilated.
So let me put it in the way I put Attack on Titan plot wise, in a sense, is imagine Gundam Wing without politics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gundam Wing without politics is Attack on Titan in a scheme of power. Like in a scheme of power scale and power struggle, that is exactly what Attack on Titan is. And as a huge Gundam fan, I love every fucking Gundam. I hate a lot of Gundams. Like the little mini fucking Gundam series they have. Fuck that.
That one was pretty
shit.
funny.
That shit was
I didn't
fucking
like
trash.
it.
But anyway, but
I'm a
like,
Gundam fan too,
but
and I
not
like
just
it.
like when I saw it, like when man, and that's the thing too. Like when Attack on Titan first came out, I was super enthralled because I was like, man, this is different. Like this is really really different. Once we got to season 2, though, and you started to understand more about the Titans and the power struggle, right? Like in between, like Aaron and them finally realized like there is a world out there, and it's a whole bunch of better off fed motherfuckers, and they pretty much left them all here to get eaten alive by these Titans. Once he figured that out, I immediately was just like, I know exactly where this is gonna go. And Aaron was on the same tip. Every other nigga was on.
Here's my question.
The funny thing to me is that's exactly that's when I stopped watching Attack on Titan. I haven't watched Attack on Titan since season 2, and I stopped watching a little bit over halfway through season 2 because I saw
because you
instantly
started
where
to
it was
see
going.
where it was going.
I saw where it was going.
That's the part that upset me
That's
the
why
most.
after season 2, I'm just gonna read everything.
Right, yeah.
This is what I tell people.
I haven't even read it,
like the trope.
which I want
If
to.
Attack on Titan came out 20 years ago, it'd be one of the greatest
It
stories
would be
ever
one of the
told.
greatest of all time. But the fact that the trope has been done so many
much.
times, and if you're not even a seasoned veteran in the anime community, if you're like
It's not even it's not even anime community, just storytelling in general.
If you've gone through high school and just heard basic story, this is a stereotypical story about revenge and history repeating itself.
Yep.
That's
It doesn't
literally
it does nothing new. It just brings a meat mix into the situation.
But where I feel like Attack on Titan got a lot of people is with its character not developed, a little bit of development.
What its twist is that you are behind the villain's eyes from day
character
one.
portrayals are spot on.
Yes, its character portrayals, I feel like, is what thank you, Josh. That's a perfect way.
Because fuck yeah. If
That is
you
a perfect
you
way
are
to say that.
you are
Yeah.
crazy. You are crazy if you don't think what
The way they
so
portrayed
if you were
Aaron
Aaron,
was a
you would have done exactly what
the
Aaron
same
would.
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If you were
exactly the
if you
same
were
thing.
Mikasa,
You
you
would
would have done exactly what Mikasa did.
Right.
If you were Levi, you would have done the same
Exact same
shit.
shit
If
that
you
Levi-
were Armin, you probably would have done the same thing.
Right.
Like
there
it's-
was someone to grab a hold of
At
and
all
agree with
times.
their
Exactly.
aspect at all times.
And now I will say with that,
There's even characters like Sasha and shit like that. Like
Sasha was a vibe.
yes.
Sasha was a fucking
Trying to get the
vibe.
grub, make these shots, nigga.
The crazy thing is, I told you I haven't watched or read that show since season 2. I know everything that happens in that fucking story.
Hey, nah, Sasha talked by Chris Kyle. That bitch, that bitch. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I remember when I watched that, when I saw it in the manga, I was like, oh, wow. And then when I actually saw it in the anime, I was like, I remember I screamed. I was like, oh! I was like, that bitch is cold!
Yeah,
Bruh,
like
nah, like, it definitely... Fuck, Josh, that was such a good way of putting it.
that's like that's
The
just how it.
character
Yeah.
portrayal was hands down, in my opinion, one of the best
Like I said,
portrayals.
Each and every one of the
I think
perspectives.
they've done. Yeah,
That's why I say had
it was
this
accurate. It
was
And-
very accurate.
and
had
for the
this come out
longest-
20 years ago, it would be one of the
And-
best stories ever told.
And that's the thing, though, too, is even for the longest time, go back to 2014 through like 2018. Attack on Titan was damn near one of the big 3.
Yep.
Because that's what people wanted. They wanted to see that story. And I mean, it definitely earned it, but it also, in its world building, nerfed its own potential.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
And
just,
see, I think
I feel like they definitely could have done more besides the Titans.
right.
yeah.
100%.
But see, I think that was in the author's mind. I feel like that might have been more of a tactical thing because, like we were just saying, they used the world, they used the Titans within the first season and a half, right? They used that to get new anime watchers and old anime watchers involved because that aesthetic, that style, the type of threat we were up against,
Also,
it had
that
never really
soundtrack.
been, in the soundtrack, it had never been done, right?
It was,
We'd never
yeah.
seen something
No,
Titan
it was all formulated. I know that.
But then once we got halfway through the season, we realized that the trope, instead of, because remember in the first season, right, we were just getting everything down. Like we were just trying to understand what the threat is, what the world we're living in is, right? Who our basic characters are, blah blah. Halfway through the second season, though, toward the end of the third season, we lose focus off of, okay, this is what the Titans are, blah 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 blah, and then that's when we get serious into character portrayal.
Yeah.
As the story progresses and the plot thickens. And I think that's where, in the strategy mindset, I think that's where Attack on Titan, in my opinion, is a really strong anime. Just because it was able to, like, get get me, because I'm one of them motherfuckers, because I got to be entertained like within the first 3 episodes. Otherwise, I'm not. So I was super enthralled within the first season, and then they broke it down, and they were like, all right, well, let's see how this nigga Aaron's taking this. All right, well, let's see what this nigga Levi thinking, and why this nigga think like this. That, to me, and they timed it. They didn't take 3 fucking seasons to do it like every other anime did. They were able to tell me what 5 characters were thinking within 15 minutes.
So, and that's the other thing too, is that is the reason why Attack on Titan was so enthralling for a lot of people, is because it is an action anime. Right. You don't get proper character portrayal in a lot of action animes.
Half the time you don't even get a good story.
Exactly. A lot of that comes in like slice of life anime, your drama type, like a lot stuff like Blue Lock, stuff like that. Right. But like when Attack on Titan, like when you're in a world that's like grim, everything is awful. There's a lot of times you don't get that portrayal, and that's what was
you
like
get hints and winces of it.
Exactly.
You don't really get to know what's going through niggas' minds.
You go to fucking shows like Bleach, Naruto, fucking name any shonen anime that's going on.
What's Guts' name?
Berserk.
Yeah.
Berserkers don't know this. You get bits and pieces of his storyline and everything throughout the show. The whole time.
They sprinkle it every 20 episodes or something like
every single time.
This is why I can't fuck. I'm like, what?
That's the one thing, that's the one thing that like really sets Attack on Titan apart, is like someone will bring up an issue that they have about themselves in the show, and you're like,
I just watched my whole fucking unit die. I don't know what to do. Meanwhile, Levi just stands up and he's like, this is the world we live in, nigga. Accept that. And I'm like,
and
valid.
You don't have a choice. And Levi tells him straight, if you don't accept it, you gonna be right there with him, nigga. So get up or shut up.
Like
and I was like,
Levi's speech after Erwin died and how he was gonna save Armin to let that nigga rest. You've done enough, bro.
Nah, see, and I ain't even gonna lie, and that's crazy thing. Like we were talking about, like at first when Levi first got introduced, I didn't fuck with that nigga Levi, because I was like, bro, you don't even understand. This nigga Aaron ain't got no choice, bro. Like he ain't the wrong nigga.
And then you realize,
but then you hear how where Levi coming from in Levi's background.
Levi understands everything,
right? And then you hear Levi talk. I ain't gonna lie, I can't remember what scene it was. But it was right after Levi found out the baby girl cared about him, and then baby girl died in the woods. And he came back and
he was so mad.
Her dad was like, hey dog, my daughter ain't told you this, but she like really into you, and I just want you to know you have permission. This nigga Levi was just sitting there shook. I was like, nah, see, at this point, Levi, you are 100% valid to squash him. Every
Levi knew from the jump what
level of a threat it
he saw how important Aaron was gonna be,
right,
and he saw how weak he was, and he was like, I need to toughen this nigga up.
But
he
that's
said,
I
can't risk it, right? And but see, like that's the thing though, is someone who's watching, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Josh, it's someone who's watching though, a lot of people in the beginning didn't fuck with Levi because of how he treated Aaron, but once they figured Levi out, and Levi came to truce with the nigga Aaron and was like, listen, bro, I really can't rock with you until I know you got this shit down packed.
And then he fucked up the beast.
Everybody, and then he fucked around and fucked up what's that?
Zeke.
Yeah, he fucked up Zeke. Yeah, and everyone was just like, oh, this nigga Levi the truth. I was like,
that's the thing too, is
he fucked Zeke.
Levi and like even early on in the series, though, people would always say, like, why doesn't that nigga Levi do more and shit like that? And it's like, Levi is only going to do more if he knows that, like, the other people have their fucking head in the game. He's not just going to go out there and do wild shit.
The only time he will do wild shit is either A, if everyone's behind him, or Zeke is involved. Because listen, the last episode, Zeke popped out, and that nigga Levi looked over and saw Zeke's face, and he was like, oh, hell no. And he came and faded that nigga immediately.
But that's exceptions.
Right.
Most of the time, though, too, like you said, though, he wasn't doing shit involving Aaron until he knew Aaron
needed to be dealt with.
Exactly.
Right. He was like, I ain't gonna go over save that nigga, whatever.
Exactly.
And they were like, bruh, they're firing off all that smoke. And he's like, until that nigga becomes a Titan, then I'll deal with it. And then the moment that nigga saw some trees collapse, he was like, all right, let's move.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna go squash that right now.
Yep.
He's like fucking what's
I've
his
been Team Levi. I don't care.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
I fucks with Levi. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Levi was the first character I liked when I first watched the show. I was like, I don't give a fuck about Mikasa.
Yep, nigga, fuck
Aaron was. I'm like Aaron. He's
Aaron,
not,
right? Yeah, Aaron was going through it. I didn't really
Yeah.
care for Aaron. What's his name?
Armin, I've always hated Armin.
Armin a
I've
pussy.
always
Yeah,
hated
fuck
that
that
nigga.
nigga Armin, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
He got some respect from me when he did the whole Colossal Titan shenanigans with Berthold. When he put himself through that, I was like, all right, you get some brownie points.
Nah,
That's about it, though.
Nah, after he tried stepping to Aaron, and Aaron literally made him his bitch in that tiny ass room. Nah, Armin. Listen, Armin was dead to me from
Hey,
the jump just because of how he was acting. But after that, I was like, you was a whole bitch.
He
Now.
redeemed himself in the final episode.
Fuck all that. Fuck the final episode.
Did he not?
He's still a square nigga in my opinion.
He is a square nigga. He is very square. But that nigga Armin, hold up. That nigga Armin transformed first. That nigga Armin transformed first and said, "Aaron, come here."
I was just about to say that. He gets brownie points when he transformed into the Colossal Titan and blew up all them innocent people around him. He blew up every last one of them.
Like I said, over the course of the season, in the course of over the season, over the series, he has improved because how he got the Colossal Titan is he himself. He beat Berthold as the Colossal Titan.
Yep.
Nobody has ever been able to beat a Colossal Titan up until Hans went insane. Right. But she only did that because she saw how Aaron did it.
Right.
So realized how to beat the Colossal Titans, cost him his life. Levi saved him. Told him, you're the next Erwin. He took that role hands down and said, all right, bet. Then, very next season, blows up an entire port. Kills up hundreds, if not thousands of people.
Thousands of innocent people.
Off rip. He didn't even give it a second thought. There was definitely fucks given.
Okay, yeah,
but because he was on that boat. He was on that boat like, damn, I guess I got to do it for my nigga. All right. Boom.
Swear to God, I was like, that is like, if that's not the biggest redeeming quality, I don't know what it is.
Then his nigga steps out of line. His nigga steps way out of line. And he's like, all right, we got to deal with him. They're trying to deal with him. They finally get him out of the Founder Titan. They get him dealt with. Armin transforms into the Colossal Titan first and tells Aaron, let's go. And then Aaron walks up to him in his Colossal Titan form. And then they start duking it out, and Armin wins.
Yep.
He still ain't shit.
Yep.
I'm sorry,
he's still a square nigga, but he's got
a square nigga.
Over the course of the series, he's got.
I'm saying is he's a square nigga, and you said
he got a little dog in him. He got a chihuahua in him.
Nah, fuck all that. He got some dogs.
Chihuahuas ain't dogs, nigga. They cats.
He ain't no square. He upgraded. He's a rectangle.
He got a little dog in him.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. See, you can agree with that at least.
A
rectangle.
Yeah, he a rectangle. He a whole trapezoid.
Come on now, you gonna blow up thousands of innocent people because you ride with your nigga?
Listen.
Yeah.
First off, see, here's the thing though. I'm down for my niggas on a way crazier level than Armin.
That's fair.
Way crazier.
Okay, that's valid. That's
way
fair.
Here's the thing, right?
I'll give you that one.
It ain't gonna take me 3 seasons to have a redeeming quality. You're gonna know within the first 5 episodes, hey, I need this nigga Bryce on my team. Cause hey, the nigga might not have no money and he might not be the smartest, but this nigga will ride and he will ride.
He got a second
for the team.
He got a second chance at life and he made the most of it. That's where his dog came. That's when he developed the dog.
He had but think about that though. You literally had to leave shit because you had no choice. It was either make or break. And this is a whole new this is your one chance, my nigga. Your one chance, and you're already known for being a bitch. Absolute pussy. Yeah, nah, I'd probably start it off and kill a couple thousand niggas too. Yeah, if it was a fresh new start for me, shit, I want to be known as that nigga now. Yeah, because everyone back home knows that fucking little handy dandy Armin fucking little handy dandy Armin ain't shit. So yeah, But you see, if it was Bryce, Mikasa, and Aaron, niggas wouldn't have to question that. They'd see me on the boat, and they'd be like, "You getting on the boat with that big nigga over there?" Yeah, I wouldn't do that. You must not know where that nigga come from. That big nigga Bryce right there, he'll drown that boat.
Completely, like I said, I understand your
You
reason.
won't know the moment I get on the boat. Niggas was on the boat looking at me like, "Oh, hey, buddy, want a scone and a spot of tea, white boy?" And he, oh yes, sure. And then he went colossal. Nah, fuck that.
I would
nah.
not want to live in that world.
Oh hell no,
More
fuck
that I'm
that.
thinking about it now that you said,
'Cause
I remember when niggas used to tell me that in like anime club, like, yeah, bro, I'd kill it in the Attack on Titan.
No,
world. You would get filleted, my nigga.
Yeah,
Hold on,
You would get filleted.
Even if you were like, there was a no-win situation in the Attack on Titan world.
It is pure chance.
It's not even pure chance. Like if you do not hold the founding Titan and you are an Eldian, you have no control over yourself. Any free will you have is given to you by Bless. And if you are not an Eldian, nigga, you got motherfuckers who could turn into Titans and just run your ass over.
Yep.
At any point in time.
That's what I'm saying. If you are not a Titan,
Fuck that world.
and you don't have Levi level fade ability, you're
Even
fucked.
here's the thing.
You are
Even
literally
Levi can't
cattle.
do it.
You are literally cattle.
Even Levi can't survive that. He can run. He can't survive it.
Well, let's be real now. Levi got out of there. Levi ended it all without a leg, without a hand, and without an eye. So technically,
Remember in the
He was
last
alive.
episode when he was fighting all them, like all the founding Titan, like all them things coming out of Aaron's like rib cage, he got folded.
He got voted.
He got what?
He got voted.
shit.
Yeah.
At the end of everything,
he
he don't
did the
have no
best
legs.
out of all of
He
them.
don't got no legs, dog. He can't. He's in a wheelchair.
He did the best out of all of them. He did the best out of all of them, but he got folded.
But did he make it out alive?
They all made it out alive. The only one who died was Aaron.
Right, okay, but think about it though. Right? In the attack, right? That's one
Hold
fight.
up.
That's
Hold-
one fight, right? Out of the millions of times you have seen niggas be gobbled, no pause. Gobbled, swallowed, all that shit. Levi made it out.
Because he's that dog.
Right, so like I'm saying, unless you have Levi qualities, you are going to be someone's snack pack in the
Easily.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
world.
And if you're not
Without
someone's
a question,
Snapchat,
it don't matter. You someone's mama.
you're probably getting beaten.
Yup.
Right.
That's why
Probably got
like,
robbed.
I told you
Right,
would not
imagine
want to live in
leaving-
that world.
Imagine being in medieval times with giants chasing you.
Yes.
That is literally what you're in
Everybody's emotions is
until
always
you get
on
across
10.
the sea.
And then you're
I
in the
get it.
and then you're in the Renaissance era. You're
Right.
one era
yeah.
ahead.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, bro. Aaron is so understandable because imagine that, bro. You've been living like a country bumpkin.
Yeah.
You've been living like a country bumpkin your entire life. You get across some water and you figure out these niggas got boats and planes.
They got vehicles,
medicine,
Electricity.
and- bro.
Yeah, electricity.
When Aaron said "fuck all these niggas, waste them all, let it rumble," I was like, "Yeah, fuck
Like,
with 'em.
all these niggas."
I will. I will.
If I can't
100%,
have it,
if I was
nobody
in Aaron,
can.
if I was in Aaron's shoes, I would have did the same
same
shit.
shit.
Except
Don't
I would have did it
give
one
no
different. I'd have did it one different.
Just them niggas.
I would have made it to where them niggas ain't. You're not stopping me.
Yeah, you ain't stopping.
You.
me.
I wouldn't. You can't stop me.
The rumble gonna be never.
The
ending,
rumble
nigga.
is going to happen. We are going to survive this.
And I
Fuck all
reiterate,
this.
the character portrayal, spot on.
God,
Spot
God tier.
Spot on.
God tier.
Because
The
man,
more-
what the fuck was they thinking?
the more-
Constantly
the more
sending all
shit-
these big ass titans down here, like all they chilling. Imagine
Yeah.
niggas like us just chilling, podcasting all. Hey, Josh. Did
And
you
we
send a
find
couple of dumbass titan over there before already?
It's
on,
like,
man.
yeah.
Them niggas were wild for that, bro. Like that alone. Had
You know
me
what?
so
You know what
tight.
that is? That's the one relatable character in fucking My Hero, Shigaraki. He said,
Yep.
"Fuck
Yep.
it, burn it all,
Yep.
take it
Yep.
all down."
Yep.
Yeah.
Take it all.
Take it
Oh fuck! I think there's a new chapter out today. Fuck.
There should be.
Yeah, there should be a new chapter out today. Nah, so dude, I'm so excited for. I want to say My Hero is coming out next year,
I hope so.
I hope. I think so.
but yeah, nah. I say that Stars and Stripes dog.
Ooh, that's-
So the way they revived Bakugo, did I tell you about that?
Well, that's major spoilers for the
Okay,
manga.
yeah, all right.
That's
So we're gonna,
ma-
yeah, so we're
That's
gonna, we're
major
gonna go,
spoilers.
yeah, we're going, yeah, that is spoiler territory.
Let's not bring.
Yeah,
Let's not bring that
super-
up.
Let's
in the
not bring
podcast.
too much light
Yeah,
into it. I'll go. I say I won't.
Granted,
go.
that won't. We ain't gonna hit that till like season 4 or not. Like there's
No,
like
we
what,
ain't
3
gonna-
more seasons.
We ain't go. Nah.
That don't get to it like
Wait,
3?
Okay, so hold up. They're about to fight. All right, so
'Cause they're about to
Shigaraki's
fight-
about
they're about to
Stars and Stripes. When they fight Stars and Stripes, a whole bunch of shit happens. But the end of Stars and Stripes fight technically begins the start of the war.
Yeah.
You could consider.
When we're in what, like the height? We're at the climax of the war now.
No. Oh wait,
In the manga.
we're hitting. We've officially hit the peak.
The
Yeah.
peak.
Yep.
Ah!
I wouldn't say.
Actually, no.
But there's so-
no. We haven't hit the peak because Shigaraki and Deku haven't done anything the entire time. Yeah, Shigaraki
So
and Deku technically haven't done
We're at that
anything yet.
rising action
Yeah, we're
spot.
coming to the climax.
Okay.
However, a lot has happened.
That's why I'm like, is at least going to be like a season or 2.
Yeah. Oh,
But
dude.
from Stars and Stripes to where you're at now in the
Stars and
manga,
Stripes
it's going
to
to be
where
at
we're
least
at now
like
is
2
gonna be-
seasons.
I'm saying probably 3.
And Bakugo was just recently that happened. So
I was gonna say I've already forgotten about Stars and Stripes.
Yeah. So I
would
would
say it'd be
It's such a
alright.
short thing in the manga.
Right, yeah, compared
It's
to
so
where it's
short.
at now, yeah, it's such a short thing. Yeah, nah, so I'm thinking that
maybe the end of season. It'd be like 2 seasons now. It'll probably be that season
so
finale.
I'm saying so season 5
Stars
is
and
what's about to
Stripes?
come out, ain't it?
Yeah,
No,
Star-
it's season 7 that's about to
Shigaraki
come
versus
out.
Stars and
Okay,
Stripes
so
is like a
season
30-second
7
read.
Yeah, Stars and Stripes was just a quick fight in
Yeah.
general, so
Yeah, Stars and Stripes is maybe going to take 3 episodes at the most.
Hmm.
And
I wouldn't
that's-
even say 3 episodes.
It might take- it may be 2.
so see,
If they
here's the
wanted
thing,
to,
I
they
give
could get
them
that
3
shit done in
because I
one
feel like-
episode.
Yeah,
I feel like they're going to do 3
The
because they're
fallout
going
of
to
the
do a lot
Stars
of
and
talking.
Stripes.
In the first episode
You're
is
right.
always
Yeah.
the first
You're
episode of
right.
every season
You're
is
right.
always
They-
recap.
they
can't drag
So they're
that
going to
out.
do
Yeah.
the first episode
All right.
recap. Probably.
Like I said, and then the fallout of the
I
Stars
just
and
hope.
Stripes.
I just hope it's something like useful, like some sort of good foreshadowing, because they didn't say a lot to each other in the manga.
Yo, the manga,
They sure didn't.
What do you mean?
Stars
Like
and Stripes
Stars and Stripes and
Shigaraki?
Shigaraki, they did not talk a whole lot. She rolled into
They
Japan, and
got the
Shigaraki's
busy.
like, "It's on site.
They
I ain't
got
got
the
words
busy.
for you." I know-
Shigaraki ain't even learned in Japan, bro. She was getting close. He was like, "What you doing? What you doing in my neck of the woods?"
The second she crossed the border over the ocean
Yep.
into Japan, Shigaraki knew she was there.
Yep.
And he was like, I already know
I
what you're
gotta
here to
deal with
do.
this. Yep. I
He's
gotta
like,
go
there's
deal
no
with this right
words I
quick.
got for you. You gotta go.
you
That's just
gotta
what
go.
it is.
He said, "I'm gonna try to
She was
take
a-
that quirk
She
too."
was on the
Exactly.
same. She was on
Exactly.
the
She was
same.
on the same thing.
Like, you gotta go.
Yeah.
U.S.
They knew
always
it.
was going on.
They
You
knew
gotta
it.
Go.
Well, not even that too, because the president, I guess the president for U.S. was just like, "How y'all doing over there in Japan?" They were like, we ain't doing too hot. This happened. This that.
The
All
funny
Might's
thing
out,
is-
and she was like, "All Might's out. Oh, I'm on my way."
Yeah. Well, that was the funny thing is, in that meeting, they're like, okay,
All the other countries were trying to.
well,
they
yeah,
were-
they're like, so how you guys doing? And they're like, U.S., we might need your help. And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll get Stars and Stripes on it. And they're like, she's not at her post. And they're like, where
she
is
already left.
And they're like, oh, she's like 10 minutes away from Japan. And they're like, oh,
yeah, she
okay.
been coming. Yeah, she been coming.
She's on her.
Yeah, meanwhile, all,
way.
Yeah, I
all the
guess
other.
she heard All Might got beat the fuck up, and she was already gone. So.
Yep, and she was on that tip. But no, I was about to say.
My
so,
master.
But see, like that's the thing though. Like with everything that's gonna happen, like you said, we're coming up. Are we coming up on season 7?
Yes.
Yeah. Season
So,
6 was the
Season
last season.
6 is
Season 7 is probably going to end where season 7 ends. It's probably going to be the start of the war. With that being said, I could see season 8 going to
I was like, because the war is going to
Probably-
take at least like a season and a half to animate.
at least two at this point.
Yeah.
So I could see season 8 going somewhere or basing it off of Ochaka's and Toga's fight, because that was a big fight in the manga.
Yeah.
That fight lasted like 10 chapters, 10, 11 chapters. That was huge. And then season 9, I want to say, is when like All for One, All Might, like
That's when that.
like
all
My
happens,
Hero
yeah.
looks like it could be an anime that goes on for
At
least
least-
a decade or two.
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's good. It's got at least
It's
10.
pushing some shit out.
We're gonna get 10 seasons of this. That's probably guaranteed. Anything after that, I don't know.
I love that the movies are now considered canon, because in the manga, dude, you see all the fucking characters. Oh my god! Every time I see a character from a movie, I'm just like, yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers were
They had no choice, but people were
adamant they weren't
The thing
canon,
that
too.
worries
like,
me,
there's no way it can be canon. I was
The-
like, ain't no way it's not.
the thing that worries me about My Hero is because, like, the show and the manga, the story in general can go to like something new at some point, but my fear is because the author has such poor fucking health, I feel like he's gonna kick the bucket before.
He's trying to end it. He's trying to end it before he can.
Yeah,
I hope he,
and
I hope he
that's
is
exactly
able
what
to.
happened. That's what happened to Dead Man Wonderland.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what happened, and I was like, all that potential gone.
People are trying to. That's what
Absolutely.
because everyone. It's really noticeable now because of what happened with Berserk. Berserk will never end now. Log Horizon won't end. People don't want animes that won't end.
No.
And then the biggest fear right now of that is One Piece.
Because of Oda.
Oda's
Oda's health has been lacking for quite some time. I remember he went into surgery.
Yep.
He went into surgery right before the Luffy Kaido fight, and it was something I think involving his kidney or his livers.
Yep. People were
remember dudes-
terrified.
He literally had to. He had to have the hospital that he went and got surgery from. They had to literally use one of their closed off rooms and leave it for mail because people were sending Oda get well mail by the fucking tons.
Of course.
Yeah, and it was all just like just love shit. Like, please don't die, dude. Like, please, like we
Shit,
need
if
to
I-
know.
if I-
Luffy needs to make the all blue,
If the
please.
if the same thing was happening with fucking dude writing My Hero, I'd probably do
Yeah,
the same thing just because.
same thing.
Because listen, my relationship with My Hero is when I first started watching that show,
Didn't
I
care for it.
fucking I hated
Didn't
it.
care for it.
I hated it.
Same.
But it showed
became-
that like it elevated its game. Like everything about it got way better, and you're like, okay, so you could tell like it was planned out to like you
Right.
can see the work that he's put into it.
Right.
It was
And
planned out.
to not be able to see the conclusion would break my heart. I'd be mortified.
I feel like what got people in the beginning was how I'm just gonna say it for what it is. How much of shonen he put into it at the beginning to captivate everybody else.
Yep.
That's what threw it off because you can tell that he definitely wanted to make this more superhero like and villains like that 100%.
And
But in order to
that's
do
the
that-
charming thing about
I
it.
know,
It's
but-
it's superhero. It's not like it's not like
In order to
crazy
do
shit.
that- in
It's
order
not
to
your
do that-
stereotypical. There's understanding to it. There's sides like when they
It's
did
very
the whole
grounded.
thing about not
Yeah.
not Night Eye, but when they did the one I can't remember her name. It's the purple-haired bitch,
Lady
Like,
Nagant.
Yeah, Lady Nagant.
When they,
I
when they
love
did the
Lady
tribute,
Nagant.
when they did the tribute to Lady Nagant, it shows that with heroes there are not only villains, there is a dark fucking side to the hero world, which is just like the society we live in now. And you would imagine if that shit was real, there would also be a dark side to it. And the niggas that work that side, if they don't work it forever, they wind up getting arrested, or fucking eliminated, or some shit that happens in real. Niggas have conspiracy theories about that shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really on point to what if. It's a, But I am gonna. So can I spoil one little thing? One itty bitty thing. So, listen.
How itty bitty are we talking?
It's about All for One. It's about All for One, and it involves his backstory. It's so listen. It was literally the most disappointing thing. It was literally the most disappointing thing because I thought All for One was gonna have some super deep, super like intricate backstory, but it's so stereotypical. But I just want to make a note to the
Yeah,
level of
it's
his petty.
He got a stereotypical evil guy.
Yeah, he's got a real stereotypical.
I mean, they've hinted at it.
Yeah.
His mother was a whore. His mother was a whore. He was born. All for One was born during the time there were not quirks, when it was just a regular society. His mother was a slut, right? Or I shouldn't say that. His mother was a prostitute.
Slut.
His mother was a prostitute, right? So his mother, though, showed signs. She had horns growing out of her, right? In her 30s. And the manga states that when quirks first became a thing, it wasn't a you're born with a thing. Like, people just...
They manifested.
people just in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, out of the blue, people just started randomly having quirks, right? And they thought it was based off of off of a disease, and they pointed that out in the manga. So I was like, man, ain't that crazy? If after COVID we all just wind up getting quirks, that'd be wild. But the mother winds up giving birth to 2 boys. Right? She didn't know she was pregnant. She died under a bridge. Right? All for One and his brother were born. All for One had his quirk at birth and drained the quirk, his mother's quirk, and the life force out of his mom. Off cusp. So I was like, okay, like, and then everything happened with quirks, right? Shit goes crazy. World goes into disarray, right? It's in that small period of where the world's in disarray that All for One is just out on his own. You know what I'm saying? He's a kid. He has no mother. All he's got is a brother. He's out on his own. Dude winds up becoming super narcissistic, whatever, blase, blase, blase. Right?
I mean, I kind of understand.
Right.
Very understandable.
Very stereotypical, very understandable.
If I was in his situation and I come up from nothing,
right.
I'm probably gonna be. I'm gonna be thinking I'm hot shit.
Right. He had the ideology at birth that if you cannot give me anything, you're better off to me dead. Right. The only thing that he didn't have that type of resentment toward was his brother. He felt that his brother was just his property because he's blood. So he can beat him, do whatever, don't matter. Right. Brother soft as fuck. He didn't do whatever. Right. So one day, right. So peace comes for all the niggas with quirks. This is how All for One makes his. This is how All for One got his name.
Yep.
Right. From the first season, we remember. And even in some of the movies, right? The third movie, there was the cult that talks about the Shining Baby, right? The Shining Baby was the first recorded born mutated quirk child, right? So one day, the fucking town's in disarray, everything's exploding. All for One's brother's looking for him, and this nigga All for One just shows up. He's just like, man, ain't it crazy how that little punk ass nigga, that glowing ass baby, gets all this fame because he glowing. Nigga, I was born before him. So what's All for One do? Goes, kills the fucking baby, and takes its quirk.
Yep.
What?
Niggas crazy.
What? You petty nigga. What?
Awful.
You petty nigga. You're known for being a baby killer. Come on, dog. Come on. Come on, All for One. I see why nobody like you, dog. You're a piece of shit.
Yep.
The baby was glowing. His quirk can't even do bro. He a nightlight. You killed a baby over. Not you that afraid of the dark night, and you
want to know
be the demon lord? Come on now.
Here's what I feel. I feel like the author did that because too many niggas like me were like, man, that nigga All for One pretty goated right now. Like he doing shit. So I've noticed that authors will do that. If the villains will
try to make them look like pussies, yeah.
They'll either make
Hit
them
with
look
some
like
dumb shit.
pussies, or they will do them. They'll make them do something so heinous you can't agree with them anymore.
Right.
They did that with Darth Vader.
I
They
think
did that with All for One.
there's a purpose in it too. It shows you how, number one, he lives up to his name, but also
Yes.
like it shows
For one.
you just how selfish he is, how narcissistic he is.
Right.
I mean, if that's what he's doing, then that really puts into perspective that if he's willing to just kill someone,
Right.
because he didn't get the recognition as being the golden baby instead of the other one,
Right.
then he'll just fucking kill him.
I think.
You can't be
with that
great.
character.
You can't be great
As
without the
crazy
thing
as
that makes you
sounds,
great.
I fuck with that characteristic that he has.
I expected more.
I
Personally,
see that I
expected a
didn't.
little
did
bit more.
expect it more.
I expected a bit more. I was very disappointed.
Personally, I didn't, because they didn't drop hints at more. From the
They sure
beginning,
didn't.
from the
True.
beginning of the story, I knew there wasn't a whole lot to All for
He
One.
was just a piece of shit.
yeah, he's just an asshole. He's a dick. He
just
needs to
goated
die.
He's just goaded with it.
Like,
He's just a dick.
like that's what he is. He is a
He is an
that
ass.
nigga's a Viltrumite. He's
Right.
a scourge on society that needs to go.
I feel that.
That's understandable.
Gran Torino said it the best. Sometimes
Niggas gotta
need
go.
to die.
Exactly. Yeah, he told
Sometimes
us. He
niggas
said
gotta die.
sometimes they just gotta go.
He do gotta go. I give y'all that.
Oh yeah.
You know what
Look,
I fuck with?
he
though?
may be my favorite character in the series. He still needs to
Mine's
die.
still Shigaraki.
Everyone in the manga at this point is on the same. Because remember, at first, that's why Deku left. At first, the only reason was because Deku was like, I have to finish this nigga, and I can't be associated with y'all. If that's the case, he's gonna bring trouble to y'all. He's gonna try to hurt y'all, and y'all niggas ain't got it in you. I'm gonna have to kill him.
Yeah, and that's
Right?
why he did the quote unquote vigilante arc.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't
yeah.
It wasn't even halfway through this war. Which All for One halfway through the war wasn't really doing nothing.
No.
He was relatively tame. Halfway through the war, niggas were like, All for One did all this. yeah, now this nigga gotta die. And I was like,
everybody.
I was like, so we're
die.
all on the same page. This nigga is gonna be dead by the end of this, right? Like, we're not playing no all night games here.
I knew the instant
All Might's still a bitch for that.
the instant Shigaraki started powering up, and once you put two and two together, like, oh, well, All for One is responsible for Shigaraki, and Shigaraki is getting ready to just basically crumble the planet apart.
Yeah.
He has to go. So
Something has to
if
give
All
here.
for One isn't worried about Shigaraki, we should be worried about All for
All
One.
for one.
All for
Right,
one.
yeah.
Nah, bro, you gotta go.
Yeah,
And keep him away
like-
from Shigaraki too. Somebody beat up Shigaraki, but you gotta go. All for one, you got to go.
I feel like something is going to go away that we don't want it to.
What do you
I
mean?
feel like Shigaraki is going to be the one that kills All for One.
I wouldn't
That's
expect
it.
that to happen at all.
I think
That's what I
be
think.
I was like, I'm almost positive
I-
we're getting the redemption arc with Shigaraki. I'm almost positive we are.
Could I say
I
something to
think
that?
Shigaraki is too far gone for a redemption, but I think he's going to be the one that kills All for One.
Could I say something to that?
Gonna take his power.
So, in the... Cause,
Yeah, and then Deku's going to kill him. That's what I'm saying.
So... Oh, fuck. All right, I'm not going to say anything because I'm spoiling. Yeah, I ain't going to say nothing. I could...
Spoiler.
Okay, so yeah, spoiler. So it when I said, I'm pretty sure I told you this. When all for one gets close enough to Shigaraki to where he can
Oh, yeah,
teleport
you
him.
said this.
Yeah.
Shigaraki chooses. He chose to reject it.
No, yeah, I know about
and
that.
he told All for One flat out. He's like, I'm not with you. I ain't with it no more. I think that is a good possibility, if anything. I feel like though, instead of him killing All for One,
He's gonna take over.
I think because he still has the ability to absorb quirks, I think he's going to try to absorb All for One.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like if he does that, though, All for One is going to die.
Yeah.
And
good
but
point.
that's what I'm saying, though. I feel like the way that I view it, Shigaraki has been the one force that is... He's the one
Always
that is...
the unquestionable. Yeah.
He has been split the entire show between Deku and All for One. And I feel like it's going to come down to a point where I need to get rid of these voices.
Yeah.
So All for One has to go because he's 50%. Deku has to go too. I
yeah.
feel like he's going to kill All for One first or take his powers and then that's what's going to kill him. Or
Yes.
something. And then he's going to go after Deku. And Deku's going to have some sort of awakening and come back, and that's going to be how it ends. But to get to that point, I feel like it's going to be a long fucking road because...
The only other possibility I see is Bakugo having a chance.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going with where
It's
they're
probably
leaving off.
going. I'll say the way I think it's going to end is it's going to be. I think that's fairly correct. It's going to be Shigaraki kills All for One, and then it's going to take Bakugo and Deku to
right.
deal with Shigaraki.
Right. So the only reason I give Bakugo a chance, and we've made comment to it before, but like back in season 3 when season 4. Back in season 4 when Deku
In one of the movies.
Yeah, he also has the One
Yeah.
for All in
Yes,
him.
one for
Yeah,
all.
and yeah, well, no, I'm not even talking about that. Back in season 4, when
I'm saying
Deku
that helps.
learned, yeah, it helps, yeah. But back in season 4, when Deku learned about his other quirks and he learned that he has other quirks he can use, he asked about who held One for All the second time because there was nothing written down about him, right? And even All for One said, "I don't know about that yet. I don't know." In the manga, All for One has verbally made the comment that Bakugo looks exactly like the second wielder, and it pisses him off, and All for One blames the second wielder that everything is the way it is because
Because
the
I am.
second because if the second wielder would have never taken his brother away, none of it would have ever happened.
That's why I'm like, he's not wrong.
Yeah, none of it would have ever happened. And All for One has already been noted and is seen that he's on the mental verge of breaking. Like, so I think that, and Bakugo right now, as weak as he is physically,
His quirk is
he
still good.
his quirk, he's leveled up his quirk to the point to where now he can move at supersonic speed without taking physical damage.
Yep.
So he can keep up with All for One. He can react at the same speed as All for One. He's just as destructive as All for One is in his current state, which I want to say this state is probably his quirk-wise his weakest. Granted, he can still repel. He still has
He's got the good.
Crazy
He's got the
ability.
important ones.
Yeah, he's still got resistance, but it's not as bad as when like fucking Tokiyama
Yeah.
and Hawks and everyone from fucking 1A was fighting. It's not as bad as that. So I think Bakugo does have a chance, but I agree with Ray. It's going to take Bakugo and Deku if they want to take
100%.
Shigaraki out. Because Shigaraki right now, physically,
No, yeah, that's
is way
I'm
too
just gonna
strong.
say this what it is. This is looking like I'm calling it an inspiration from the Great Ninja War.
You know, no, that is a really good point though for the Great Ninja War arc. Like, I can't really think of a better way to really put it.
That's the only way I see it as, because now that Bakugo is back in the stage, I mean, peep game. In the Great Ninja War, when you know all about this, when they was about to fight Madara, that nigga Sasuke was out.
yeah.
Now Sasuke came back in.
Right. And then they wound up teaming up again. Right. See, but like that's what I'm saying, that like I could see Tokiyama maybe
Now Sasuke Naruto was out.
No, yeah, Naruto. Because Naruto was
Naruto
he
got
was
beat.
training on the island,
Yeah.
trying to get the Kurama Link mode down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that's where I could see like Tokiyama maybe making a big comeback. Todoroki is someone who is in the big three.
Yeah.
I feel like he should be there. It's just after his fight with Dabi, he's not really
His
he's not
impactful.
in the physical capability to really fight.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm
someone on
saying.
That
scale
and
right
his
now.
his ability to like impact the story with his own story is pretty much done. His
but it's not that early on in the story they played him up as being one of the stronger
Yeah.
people in the
Stronger,
class.
Oh, yeah.
But let's
So,
be real though.
that's
Let's
what
be
I'm
real,
saying.
though. That was because of his father.
yeah.
Like when Endeavor when Todoroki was very first introduced, we were told that there were two kids that were elected. Like the school was like, we have to have these two kids. One was Momo, which is money.
Yep.
And the other
Let's-
one was Todoroki.
Right. The other one's Todoroki,
Yeah.
his father. Right. He came in solely off the coattails of his father, and Todoroki's whole thing in the first two seasons was, nah, I'm doing my own thing, and it was out of pure hatred until he realized, until Deku pretty much had the whole, you can be whatever the fuck you want to be talk with him, right? And then he mellowed out.
Yeah, but there's also the growth aspect of that too that we haven't really seen a whole lot, because it's now that he's trying to improve his relationship with his family as a whole.
Right.
He still doesn't have full control over both sides,
Right.
which is
And I do feel you there, but that's why I was saying to earlier, he's gonna get
that's what I'm saying. Like, I know he
way
isn't going to
more
come
light.
in right now. Now would be a horrible time for him to come back in.
Yeah.
Right.
He just got done fighting. Like, like I already know all that, but I'm saying like if after some point of clarity they don't touch on him, that'd be disappointing.
Oh, that'd
because
be
it's
very
like,
disappointing.
like I
Why?
said,
Why did we put all that emotional effort into a character? if we're not
exactly.
even gonna see it all
And
the way
I'm
through?
not saying that's what they're going to do, but series have done the same thing to
Yeah.
other characters in the past.
Right.
So,
Look at Ida.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ida had a whole fucking season where we got emotionally attached to him.
We waited.
After that, he took a hard backseat, and Ida has not. As someone who's up to date on the manga, Ida has not been relevant until Todoroki goes to fight Dabi, and he was relevant for a whole chapter.
I was about
And
to say.
when I say chapter, I'm talking like 6 panels.
Oh, that's
Like-
the thing too. Is like in the growth spurt that like everyone in 1A had, like after they showed all the villains like training and trying to get stronger, you didn't see a lot about Ingenium. All you
Nope.
got was, oh yeah, by the way, I upgraded my technique. I can go way faster than I could before.
Right.
And that was it. That's like all they really gave you.
Right. But see, like in that regard though, to Ida especially, like when we first got introduced to Ida was like the most mature
Yeah.
in the group up until his brother got hurt.
Yep.
Right? And think about it. That is a huge, if you're gonna be a hero for your whole fucking life and someone just takes out your brother and you know this motherfucker keeps doing this, right? There's obviously going to be some Bruce Banner revenge
Absolutely.
in that.
Absolutely.
So
But
that's big for him.
That was also where they highlighted his immaturity. He was so bent
Yep.
on vengeance,
getting
even though he
vengeance.
couldn't get it himself. And Deku had to be like, "Look, bro, you're gonna fucking die if you do this alone."
You're gonna get us
And he,
killed.
I was say he almost got him and Deku killed.
And that was when he realized, "Oh shit, I'm not as like head in the game as I think I am.
Right.
Yeah.
After that, right. But see, like, that's what I'm saying. After that, he pretty much takes a backseat
Yeah.
up until Todoroki, and I feel like that's a huge misstep. Personally, I feel like a lot of characters that because like we got a little bit about Kirishima,
Yeah.
we got a little bit about what's her name? Who's the pink haired chick? Nina. I want to
Mina.
Mina. The acid.
Ashido. Mina
yeah,
Ashido.
Yeah, Mina. Yeah.
I want to say this. I want more from Kirishima. I love that nigga.
Yeah.
I
like,
love that
was
nigga.
really
Slept on.
disappointing.
I
Like,
love Kirishima.
like in
well,
my-
even that shit with Gigantomachia was raw as hell.
Yo.
That
Yeah.
was that. I ain't gonna lie. That was his shining moment.
Yeah,
Yep.
when he
that
punched
was a
the fuck
shining
out of
moment
him.
for him. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
When he pushed Mina out of the way and took it, I ain't gonna lie. I was scared. I was
Same.
like, I was like, this nigga Kirishima gonna be hurt, and that nigga just came up like a champ. It was like, nah, nigga, I ain't done. I
Yeah.
was like, okay.
And then
Alright, he's valid.
they launched his ass at and he knocked that nigga Gigantomachia out.
Yep.
Knocked him out. Not to mention Mina, she came up too with her acid ability a little
She
bit.
sure
Yeah,
did.
so-
She
yeah.
came up quite a bit.
So I say she definitely worked on her ability to the point to where she's definitely like I could see her being like an on the street hero level threat.
She's
You know
very
what
she's
I'm
very
saying?
versatile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a
With
very
the-
versatile.
with the
hero.
fact that she
And
can
If
now,
she
like,
was by
change it.
herself out in the street and she was just going against like
if it was some thugs,
Yeah, she'd-
whatever.
yeah,
but if it's
yeah.
like a level like
If it's a-
2, level
Yeah.
3 grade issue, call somebody else.
yeah, don't send her.
Call them out later. Don't call
Immediately
me.
call somebody else.
Yeah.
Listen, if the nigga's taller than 12 foot, don't call Mina. Okay, because Mina's gonna fold.
If her acid doesn't specifically counter whatever they're doing,
Right.
don't call her.
Don't call Mina. Call the nigga Kirishima because
Yeah.
he can practically deal with almost any problem.
Yep.
Yeah, Kirishima's he's
He's a dog.
cold. I love that nigga.
yeah, I love
I
Kirishima.
really do. Like even when they introduced him, just his quirk, I was like, oh, he has hardening.
That's it.
So hockey, and they were like, yeah. I was like, bet. I love this nigga. He's
He's
And
like,
like-
then
he's-
just the fact that he has
He's goated
literally,
with it, too.
we talked about it the last time we recorded.
Yeah.
He has basically the other version of himself on Team 1B.
yeah,
So-
fucking perfect fucking spear on the other side. Yeah, fucking Iron Boy, which I thought that was a great way to really show how.
And his
strong-
coach was Fat Gum. Like,
yeah.
Yep.
come on, come on.
I love that nigga. Fat
Yeah,
Gum.
Fat Gum is
I
raw.
was
He's-
literally rewatching.
He's the
I was-
most chillest nigga I've ever seen.
I was literally rewatching My Hero last weekend, and I was watching where they're fucking getting to. It was right after Shigaraki's awakening, and fucking they were raiding the house, and Mount Leia was falling down. That nigga was like, ass, like just running. He was like, "There's ass coming!" And, like I just love how funny that nigga is. He's so fun.
During the raid.
Yeah.
During the raid, that nigga
Dude,
was hilarious.
That nigga was
The
like,
one
yeah.
thing that I will say,
Don't yell, but where the fuck you going?
the raid sequence is probably one of my favorite sequences in that show.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah.
like all the scenes that are going by.
They did such a good job grabbing like the level of intensity.
Yep.
Because it happens right off the bat.
I think the only like show of expression I didn't like in that entire like awakening like season is when they find out that all of the high ends aren't dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just, and like it's fucking Gran Torino, Bakugo, and fucking Deku, and all their mouths are agape. I was like, all right, like with all due respect, homie, you just watched the whole fucking city get wiped. This is no time for no cartoon faces.
Right.
You need to take this shit serious as fuck.
Especially
Niggas
when
are
you
dying
had,
out here.
especially when you had a homegirl, what's her name, with the bunny ears in
Oh,
there
yeah.
serving work.
Yurko,
Fucking
my
yeah.
God.
And they're cooking work with the gnome.
Mega work with the gnomes.
Dog,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
was-
Nomus,
if
yeah.
I
that
was
was
in-
5 high ends.
Yes.
That's
I
what I'm
don't think niggas realize.
And she
like,
was in
And
there
she was
one-on-one.
banging out,
Working.
bro.
And
She was
working.
Here's the worst part. She's the number 5 hero.
Right.
It took the number 1 and the number 2 to go max difficulty and almost lose to 1.
Right.
She
Yep.
working with 5.
5.
And not to mention
Five.
before that, Endeavor basically almost killed himself, and it wasn't for Hawks. He wouldn't have survived fighting the new Nomu.
Yep.
And,
And
that
she worked
that was
with
the
5
first
of them niggas.
Yeah.
That was a beta. That was the beta.
That was
one
a
high
beta,
end.
yes.
That was the
Yeah.
beta one. That was literally sub 001 high end. Like that was the beta test subject high end. And then this nigga, people do not give Mirko
Not at
no
all.
credit.
That bitch strong.
No credit for
Them
that.
legs
Like,
is strong.
not only were they high ends, right? Because high ends are known to have more than 2 to 3 quirks. That's why they're considered high end.
And they all
Right.
have that nullification.
Yep.
All for one.
They all just absorb damage.
All for one in season 1. The Nomu he fought was not a high end.
Nope.
It was not a high end. It was a near high end. Not even remotely close. That did work. That hurt All for One significantly. These and the doctor, I can't remember his name. The doctor made the comment to Shigaraki is that what makes high end so particular is once they hit the point of consciousness and self-awareness, they're practically unstoppable. All 5 of those Nomus were conscious, self-aware, and adapted. All 5 of them. And Mirko was out of the 5, she was able to take out 3 by herself.
Bitch ain't ranked,
and continue to chase.
And
The only reason she lost is because they started pulling cheap tricks on her.
They had no choice though.
Yeah, they didn't have any choice.
They really didn't have a choice.
If I was them, I was like, nigga number 1,
Yeah,
nigga
think
about
number
that.
2. We gotta get her.
for her killing 3 of them though, and getting ganged up on them, for only losing an arm,
And a leg.
she
That's well
Yeah.
worth it.
Well
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, well worth it. I ain't gonna lie. Nah, after that fight, I was like, Mirko is in my
If I was
opinion,
Endeavor,
the best-
I'd have been
the
heated.
best street fighter out of the heroes.
Oh, definitely.
Out of all of them. But then, she comes back. Like,
Yeah, she comes
she
back.
ain't done, and I love that.
and she has the metal. She has the metal leg.
Yeah, she has. She has the fucking full metal shit, bro. Like when they were fight, bruh, she came back. So when
so glad
Shigaraki
I'm
gets,
caught up.
I say I'm
Don't spoil this one. Don't spoil this
come
one.
on, dog.
Don't
I got
spoil that
to.
one. No.
I got
The one
to.
thing
No,
that I will say is,
can't.
I love when she
Can I
comes.
just say when she comes back, like how she come back?
Nope.
Bro, she come back on the most run fade tip ever,
Exactly.
bro.
That's
Well,
why
I
you
was gonna
can't
say,
do it.
the one thing-
it's too high.
The one thing that they hinted at when she came back, they're like, "Oh man, it must be, it must suck having those metal limbs." She goes, "These are stronger than my last body parts."
She's like,
Fuck that.
she's
She's like,
bitch.
"I'm on game now." I was like, "Oh shit!"
All I gotta do is break them. Okay.
Bitch. You Full Metal Alchemist, bitch.
You thought I didn't come with this 38 rack?
Right?
Prepped and set, nigga. Slap that bitch on the fucking floor.
She's like,
What you
she's like,
talking about?
listen, they knew how hard I was hitting motherfuckers before, and they knew that this shit couldn't be weak. I got the strongest metal in the world on my body right
I was
now.
about to say, if I was at that meeting,
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't give a fuck what none of y'all niggas talking about. As long as this bitch got her legs, I don't care.
Yep.
Yeah.
Need
She
her.
in it.
She got her legs.
She
Come on,
bro.
we need you right
She
now.
is the
I ain't
best.
gonna lie, bro. The first time I saw that episode, I bit my lip hard.
Here's-
I was like,
Didn't you?
I was like, fuck, bro.
Here's the funniest
I
thing.
was like, I ain't never really fucked with an
Fat-
anime bitch before, but
Fat
I
Gum,
love
Fat Gum is a
She's
great mentor
raw.
for Kirishima, but if Mirko was his mentor, oh my dog.
That's why I fucked with the fact that Bakugo was
Yeah.
Bakugo was a part of her mentorship for a little bit because I was like, and she said flat, she's like, yeah, I like you down with the sickness.
Imagine-
I
Yes.
was like, yeah.
Imagine a world where like we get an episode that's like a one-off, and it's like it shows like a team mission, and it's Lady Nagant from a distance, and then Mirko. With Lady Nagant covering her.
That's another thing too, dog. Like I be thinking about that from time to time. If you're a villain, because I know like Tone always be like, man, I want to be a villain.
Villain ass
Depending,
nigga.
I would be
depending
too.
on how
Fuck
you
it.
get came at. If you a villain, you,
Look, the power of my quirk and how far I can push it would strictly determine if I'm on villain shit.
right? Yeah. If I'm
Yeah.
on villain time or not.
If
yeah.
my quirk is shitty, I'm not. I'm gonna give me a little 9-to-5 job and pray no one comes.
Nah, I'd
for
be
me.
like that nigga Spot robbing ATMs.
Come on now, give me some, bro.
But hold up, that nigga Spot had a good ass quirk.
Yeah.
I would work with that
Yeah,
quirk.
but
if I just
it
had,
took Miles Morales undermining him
Undermining
Right.
it. And let's not be real.
for him to
He
turn
didn't
up.
get that
Right.
powerful unless he got undermined and just like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go juice myself up more.
Yeah,
Fair.
and it wasn't until actually it
even
took
still-
two things. It took that, and it took him embarrassing himself,
Oh, yeah.
falling into his
Yeah.
own spot
Yep.
in the middle of a fight to be like,
I'm
these
really
go to
fuck-
different dimensions.
I'm fucking up.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
goated
fucking.
for
I'm
real.
a fucking
speaking
goober.
speaking of that nigga, it shows on both those movies are on Netflix.
Yeah, I
1
saw
and
that.
2.
Yep.
I peeped that.
Go watch that shit, dog.
Oh, no,
Go
I,
watch it.
I bought it as soon as it dropped digital. Fuck all that. I wasn't waiting for Netflix.
I wasn't waiting.
I wasn't even sure it was gonna come out on
No,
Netflix.
that shit came out on Prime, and it was
That was
like,
a good grab for Netflix for sure.
Yeah.
But nah, dude. It's just, I really like where My Hero is going, especially in the storyline. It makes.
That's why I'm saying I get genuinely scared when I think
When
about the
niggas-
author.
when niggas put up a tweet
Yeah. They're
talking
like,
about their heart hurts, you're
or-
just like, what you mean your heart hurts?
yeah, like when I first started reading it and I got caught up that way back.
Yeah.
When I got caught up and I was like, man, I can't wait to read the next chapter, and a tweet went out saying, this week's chapter is delayed. I'm like, oh no, and they're like, yeah, the author has heart complications. He's in the hospital currently. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like,
I was about to have
fucking shit.
I hope this is what I hope that nigga needs to write that shit down ahead of time.
Yep, and have it
At least give
And-
them an outline.
Exactly, and then just give it
Actually-
to entrust it to someone.
Yeah, I think they're. Well, no, I think they're doing another 2-week delay from the looks of it, which makes sense. Yep.
Is it for complications?
Oh no.
Okay.
It's because they're gonna. Man, fuck! I hate when they do this, bro. So man, they've had a really hard time. It's like my only complaint. And it's because they're trying to explain shit, right? But I feel like I already. Most of the time with My Hero, I've been able, and I feel like it's because I'm a veteran anime watcher, and I be paying attention to very small things.
That was my
Like,
problem
you
with
have
season
to-
4
So
and 5, actually.
so I'm gonna sidetrack off when I talk about attention to detail. Jujutsu Kaisen, right? Blonde-haired nigga with a ponytail. It's got the 3 marks. Now, when he was fighting what's her name, when he was stabbing baby girl in the legs, before Nanami showed up, right? I noticed. I peeped this real early game. Baby girl hit him with the hairpin, and he just kind of threw his hands up and whatever, knocked her out, whatever. When he walked up to her, I peeped that one of the marks under his eye was gone, and he made. I don't even understand my own ability. Blah 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 blah. And in my mind, I was like, is it luck? Because he kept going. He kept taking the conversation to luck. He's like, man, nah, you need way more than just strength in this world to fucking win. It don't matter how strong or how smart you are. That don't get you nowhere. That's kind of weird. And in my mind, I was like, it's gotta revolve around luck, right? 5 episodes later, the narrative is like, yeah, his ability works around luck. The eye marks underneath his eyes symbolates how many miracles he still has.
So he's Domino?
Huh? But he only has 6, right? And he used them all up fighting Nanami.
Does he get him back?
He gets them back after he rests. So
I mean,
So
yeah,
with that-
that's pretty strong. I just
So
think the
with-
D&D, and I'm like,
right, so I saw though that mark was gone, and just off of how he was talking, I was like, his domain has to do something. His cursed energy has to do something with luck. Sure enough, it was right. My Hero leaves way more hints than Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen hits you with like a piece of salt, not a sprinkle, a piece of salt.
as we all
It
said,
lets it
if you
rest.
didn't see the Dobby twist coming, you're blind.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
If
see,
you
here's-
didn't see the best Genus twist coming, you're blind.
blind. Here's the thing, though, right? I made the comment about the second holder, Bakugo.
Yeah.
Incredibly similar. I bet you they're related. In
Oh,
some
yeah.
way,
It's probably going to be like his uncle or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Last chapter, they did the mental snap where All for One makes the comment that Bakugo looks exactly like him.
Yeah.
Right. Now they're going on a 2-week delay, which I guarantee you this next chapter is going to be nothing but talking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nothing but talking, and it's gonna go. It's either gonna reveal that what I thought was right, which Bakugo is somehow related or intertwined to this prior to them holding hands and trading All for One, or it's gonna tell me why fucking number 2's quirk is so fucking busted. Which right now I get the fact that it's busted in a fighting standpoint because it literally changes the whole fucking flow of the fight, but they're treating his quirk like it's like a death sentence, almost like how like fucking what's his name's fucking like 10 shadow ritual thing is in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
Like even the dude who wields it, who's talking in Deku's mind, is like, you can't use this too much. Like, you can't overextend this quirk. And with All Might erasing, you know what I'm saying, what his quirk did, everything else. His quirk is gear shift, which changes like the speed and trajectory of objects.
Yeah.
So what negligent downside is there? Like, I can't.
It could be the
understand
recoil
it.
on the body if you're doing it to your body.
That I get. So, but see, like, here's the thing, though. If that's the case, why don't you specify when you do it on your body? Why is it that when you're hitting Shigaraki and you're fucking slowing down his speed so that way you can mollywop his ass?
So the way that
Why?
I'm taking it, it probably has something to do with the application of it. Like, if you are modifying the trajectory of something, that means you are.
It's not the trajectory; it's the amount of force applied.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you are doing that, though,
yeah.
you are either adding or decreasing energy, and that energy has to go somewhere.
Okay.
So it's either going into Deku, or he's probably using energy to put it in, like, to something else.
Okay.
And I feel like that could probably be the toll that he's referring to, or he's hinting at. That's the only thing that would make sense to me. Because if it was just like, oh yeah, ding, like,
Yeah. Then it would be overpowered.
yeah,
Right.
So that's the only thing that I could think of.
But like they're treating it like, so like, you know how like when Deku first discovered, like when Deku first got One for All, right? And they were pretty much just like, the power in it is so crazy compared to your body that your limbs could rip off.
Yeah.
Right. That was just All for One. They're treating this like it's like they're treating it like it's cancer.
Yeah.
Like they are hiding everything, and All Might is just in the back, like, nah, it can't. Like he's in denial. Like literally since season 3, All Might has been in denial that Deku even has the chance of potentially having this quirk. It seems the way they make it feel is that it's a plague. So if it is an energy thing, like you're saying, especially with the fact, because like when you think about it, One for All, they said it's like a battery.
What if it's because they?
So, like, there's just a million. That actually just opened up a lot of thoughts in
Wait,
my mind.
hold-
I'm not gonna lie.
I have a
Yeah.
Like, how could they play with
How
it?
far have they described Gear Shift?
They've described Gear Shift that when Gear Shift was first held by the second user, that it wasn't refined to the point to where he could move large objects. It was mainly used for like bullets and smaller objects. Right? Over the years that One for All has been reserved and stacked and stacked, it's now to the point to where it can move physical, inanimate, and animate objects. So whether you're breathing, whether you're a fucking chair, whether you're a plane, you can increase and decrease the speed that it is moving. So like if I hit you, right, I can either decrease the speed you fly away from me, or I can increase it. Right? Now,
Because I was gonna say, what if using that ability too much is what left him open to getting or All Might getting open to where All for One was able to hit him with that fatal wound that pretty much curbed his career.
so he killed the second wielder before All Might was even around.
No, I mean when All Might was going on his tear, he fought All for One when he was in his prime, beat All for One, but All for One landed a fatal hit on
and
him.
he wounded him.
What if it was because of Gear Shift?
So I would agree with that. However,
That's an interesting theory.
I would agree with that. However, the only hole I have with it is that when Deku first was introduced to the potential possibility of there being other quirks in the tournament arc, when he fought Shigaraki, he said that he was met by 8 shadows.
Yeah.
Right? One of which looked
Like All Might.
Like All Might.
Yeah.
All Might told Deku, and he told Bakugo, that he never has experienced.
That's what I was gonna say.
half
So that's
of what
that's
Deku
exactly what I was gonna
experienced.
say.
So
this is all new.
Yeah,
All
this
Might,
is all new. All Might don't even know what's going
If-
on. So
if-
that's what's puzzling me. All Might knows about all the wielders before him. All Might's done his homework. He knows about all the wielders before him. He has information on all the wielders before him. All the quirks those wielders had. But the only one that he is really detrimentally focused on is the second user, which is Gear Shift. All Might couldn't use any of those quirks.
yeah, he
All he had was the physical innate ability.
Yes.
That was all he had, was speed and strength. That was it.
all he had
So-
was One for All.
it begs the question, like, I ain't gonna lie, the energy one is a really good, they could definitely use that because I can't see any way out. I can't really see any way outside of that wheelhouse where that wouldn't work for the energy, like energy buildup.
Yeah.
It would it'd be really frustrating because you know that one for all is a battery and now he's got energy that could kill him.
Come on now.
Niggas
Yeah.
would be like, but he, what?
Come on, like what?
It's negative energy.
So like, how many quirks is Deku up to now? That's gear shift is.
Deku can use every quirk in his arsenal. However, every quirk that he uses takes up a detrimental amount of energy, and each one is different. Like
Yeah.
like his Spidey sense, like his sense of menace or malice.
Either with
right?
danger sense or something.
Yes, he has danger.
Let's just say what it is.
yeah,
Spider
the
sense.
nigga
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Well,
Yeah.
The
Spider
nigga
Yeah,
is
but
Spider-Man.
what I'm saying is like, because I mean, like he's gotten to the point where Black Whip is like a casual thing, right?
Black Whip is
Yeah.
casual.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so, I mean, I
Smoke
think.
screen takes some energy. Gear shift right now takes the most energy out of him.
What about Fajin?
Fajin? He can Fajin he can use relatively well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's what I feel like. I feel like it's gonna come to some point in time where he's somehow gonna be able to like blend quirks together or get something new that's gonna help with whatever the drawback is for gear shift. That's
The only other drawback I could see besides energy is
how
just
about
the amount
this?
of energy it takes.
What if he gear shifted and then used all the extra energy in Fajin? There you
Oh
go.
my.
There you go.
So
Yeah,
that
you're right.
they have been hinting at that significantly.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
And
see,
I am so fucking
because
ready.
Fajin, it
Is-
states it works
uses
off of
built up
built
kinetic
up
and potential
energy.
energy.
Exactly. So if he is gear shifting something,
to reduce
It's energy
Yeah.
taking it onto himself,
storing it in Fajin,
and then he can deliver it right back into another
Exactly.
punch.
See like that. That was what was stumbling me with the energy thing. Because in my mind, I was like, between his quirk and Fajin, there's too many ways. Energy isn't the right word to
Yeah.
use because there's so many avenues where he can use it. But nah, I was about to say like Deku is definitely a problem. But right now, the two quirks that take the most energy, number one being gear shift, number two surprisingly being smoke screen.
Well, how big he can throw them smoke screens is kind of
Right.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It makes
He can cast
sense.
The whole fucking city in smoke.
yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. Like it's
Like, he's
not a
got-
light.
He's got ability.
I would say smoke screen is the whole reason he was able to facilitate Fajin in the Lady Nagan
Nagan
fight.
And
fight.
the Lady Nagan fight.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that smoke screen and Fajin, he would have got wasted.
Yeah, she would have seen right through him.
Yeah. That's the thing though. Every fight that Deku has been in after season 4 shows and gives him evolution into his quirks
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form. The fact that he hasn't done anything with Shigaraki except for gear shift, I feel like after this fight he will have a full understanding of gear shift, and then if we don't get a fight after this with Deku, if he hasn't already, he will be at 100%
Especially-
in the next fight.
I would say, especially, we also got to understand that this nigga Deku, while is a fighting prodigy, he not with fighting like on the spot.
I wouldn't say
but
he's
when
a
it comes,
prodigy, I'd say he's a tactician.
all right,
He
that's a
is-
better
Yeah,
word.
very good.
Deku,
Yeah,
Deku is
I'd
one of
say,
the
yeah.
most tactical
Bakugo-
fighters in the show.
Bakugo is the prodigy,
is
yeah.
a prodigy in
But yeah.
combat.
Because Bakugo,
If you give-
fights off of pure instinct.
He fights.
Yeah.
He fights like an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deku had like his ability to plan up strategies and plan up the way his quirks work
Strategy.
is damn near on the level of Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
When it
can
comes
think.
to
He can
predicting
think
a
ahead.
fight.
He can think ahead very far.
If you
Very
give this
quickly,
nigga
very
like
rapidly.
a week
Mhm.
to
I'll give
just
him that.
prepare for a fight that is reasonable for him to fight,
Which
he will and a full background, a full diagnostic of what his opponent can and cannot do. He's going to win
the
that
funny
fight.
thing is that's one of the traits early on in the show that made Ida really like Deku because he realized
He was he was
He's very-
smart on the fly.
yes, he's very observant.
He was good on the fly. See, that's why. I feel like that's also why they pinned the matchup the way they did, where it's all for one Bakugo against Deku and Shigaraki. Because Shigaraki, since we've seen him since the very beginning, he is a very natural fighter. Granted, his quirk is very overpowered, so it leaves it doesn't leave a lot of room for him really to like throw.
Yeah.
But we've seen with his fights in Endeavor and everything else that he innately knows how to move to where he can get what he needs done. Same as Bakugo, right? Deku and All For One down to the T. It don't matter if you're looking at his fighting style or just who he is as a person. He's a very articulate, point A, point B, pins and needles, very on point fighter, right? Just like Deku is. Where if you would have matched those two up together, you know what I'm saying? If you put Deku against All For One, Deku's gonna fold. You put Shigaraki up against Bakugo, Bakugo's gonna fold. Instead, they just switched it up. They were just like, you know what? And granted, Bakugo is weak. All For One is also weak, right? All For One though has years
of experience,
of combat experience, where this nigga Bakugo fights like he's a dog with rabies.
Yeah.
Like he lit like literally in the fight with All For One. All For One was running. He literally was like, I gotta get the Shigaraki to help me out. And this nigga Bakugo, gushing blood, came out from around the building just with his palm up. He was like, nigga, where the fuck you think
But
you
you
going?
know what?
Where are you
And he
going?
blasted
You know
his
what?
ass. I was
But that's
like,
that's also why though Bakugo willingly went back and trained with one of the most tactical fighters, Best Jeanist.
Yep.
So it's like he understands that he's like
Where
I'm-
his weak points are.
He's like, I understand that, like, I'm good on the fly when it comes to fighting, but I'm not good at planning things out. Best Jeanist, God knows I hate the nigga,
Right.
but he knows
he's got
exactly,
plans.
exactly.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what I lack.
I was about to say, Best Genius is literally where Deku will be, mindset wise, when Deku becomes a fully fledged hero. That man, because Best Genius is super
Power
technical.
scale way higher. Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I did not respect that man until season 6.
Who,
I did
Best
not
Jeanist?
Yeah, I did not respect Best Genius till season
That's
6.
fair.
No,
A lot of
no,
people didn't.
The instant I saw those gigantic threads, I was like, "Oh, he on business. He's on business."
The moment you saw that denim, you were like,
he
"This
was
nigga
standing there
is
in the
on
helicopter. He was standing there with the helicopter, and they had the big ass fucking cables. And I'm like,
I
"Oh,
ain't
huh?
gonna lie.
I know
Nah,
where he's
it
on."
wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the JoJo pose. I
Yeah.
knew he was on business. I was like, "Oh yeah, he up to date.
Yep.
He's valid."
Because up before season 6, the only bit we've gotten of Best Genius is like insights into his mind.
You know,
And-
But Best Genius is what, number 4, number
Yeah.
3.
And
I was
how-
like, you,
and how
I
high
know
he
for a
was.
fact if Mirko is as crazy as she is, and he's
and she's 5.
yeah, I'm
she's
like,
ranked 5th.
so I knew he wasn't no bitch or anything like that, but it's
Actually,
just
after when All Might was ranked, she was 5th. After All Might, she was. Actually,
She moved up.
No,
She-
She
All
was
Might-
6th.
yeah, she
was
moved
6th.
up to 5th.
After
She
All
moved
Might,
up to 5th.
She moved up to 5th because it went her, Ryuko the Dragon Bitch, or no, I'm sorry, Best Jeanist,
Yeah.
Ryuko the Dragon
Yeah.
Bitch, Edshot the Ninja nigga,
Yeah.
and then Endeavor.
Endeavor, yeah.
Yeah.
Where was Hawks at? Because Hawks was
number
Oh
2.
shit! No,
Yeah,
my
Hawks was
bad.
number 2.
Yeah, I'm tripping. So it
Yeah.
goes. Yeah, it
'Cause
goes
it-
Endeavor. Oh shit! It goes Endeavor.
Can you grab
Hawks.
that?
Yeah. It goes Endeavor Hawks.
Hold up. Make sure the cord doesn't come out. That one, yeah. Make sure that's all good. Okay.
Yeah, it was Endeavor Hawks. Genus.
Okay, I was like,
Mirko.
Yeah.
Dragon Bitch.
okay, because I thought it went
Because
Miracle.
the Dragon Bitch was number 6. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was Miracle, Edshot, Genus, then Hawks, and then
I
Endeavor.
totally forgot about my nigga.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about my nigga Hawks.
but like,
RP.
but like, it's I don't know. It's Genus was. We knew he was strong. We just never got to
Yeah.
see
How strong?
how strong his threads were.
he came out. He being able to hold that.
You know what I just thought about though? Going back to Josh's point, because Josh was just talking about how like they kind of went off about Todoroki. We were just talking about their fighting styles. Look at it like this: Todoroki too, when he came in, Todoroki had it all.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was not only a
He was
technician,
smart, but he had
that
brute
nigga
force.
knew how to use his quirk. The
Yeah.
only thing he had holding him back was
His-
childhood drama.
his
That was
refusal to
literally
use
it.
fire.
Yeah, so that's another reason why they probably were like, let's go. You know, the author probably realized, yeah, besides this childhood trauma, this nigga really don't have nothing else like to work on.
You know
When
what
he
I think?
fully masters fire, Todoroki will be the
Now
most
that I think
complete
about
fighter.
it, well, hold on. Now that I think about it, because that's what I was just about to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he kept
Little do they fucking know, man.
the fact that he kept Dobby alive, that's
The
gonna.
fact that he has the physical ability to keep him alive.
Well, I'm saying I think that's gonna play into the future. I feel like Dobby is like not against his will, but is at some point gonna be like, if you just do this and this, like you'll probably do things better. And he's like, I feel
I
like
just torched my whole fucking body.
yeah.
Like, dude, that's like as much as people hate. I gotta give a shout out to Dobby. Like I really do. Like,
I don't. Why would you hate Dobby?
Dobby is.
It's a redemption arc for Dobby. I'm saying that right
Dobby
now.
and Twice, in my opinion, are the two best villains now.
Man.
There-
Bring
In
back my
terms
nigga
of-
Twice.
Twice is one of the best.
Bring him back.
Twice don't deserve to be in a villain
Dog,
bracket, bro. He
when
was just
Toga-
very unfortunate.
He didn't even deserve to die.
No.
He's not.
Really did. Nah, when Toga did the fucking
Well, no. He definitely.
No.
Because I completely understand Hawks'
Yeah,
thing. I
but-
complete.
Hawks
Sad Man's
made a
Parade is
choice.
crazy.
Hawks made a choice.
I'm sorry, Ray. This
No.
time I'm gonna say no.
No,
Even
No.
Hawks admitted that.
Yes.
Hawks admitted that.
Was it
It
sad?
was-
But no, I'm just saying. If I put myself in Hawks' mindset,
But
in
here's
the
the thing.
facts of the raid,
Here's
because they
the-
were in the middle of the raid. Sad Man's Parade in that raid would have washed them heroes.
But-
there was nobody there that would have been
this-
able to handle it.
They had 180 days, right? Hawks warned
He did.
Endeavor. Hawks warned Endeavor. Secret as fuck. With some highlighted shit. Pretty much say, hey nigga, you got 180 days to figure this out. Right? Hawks could have literally went, and Hawks knew who the problems were. He said Twice, Shigaraki's in resting, so we gotta hit these niggas while it's young.
Here's
And-
also why you're wrong, right? Twice didn't know Hawks was undercover until that nigga Hawks went to kill Twice.
Yes.
He did not know.
Yes.
If Hawks talked to Twice, because Twice thought he was good friends with Hawks, he could have changed how that whole thing went.
Whole dynamic.
He could have changed how that entire
did
thing
Hawks
went.
go about it very, very wrong?
Well,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying
Yes.
though. That's what I'm saying. Twice.
He made a
Uh-huh.
choice.
That's why I'm saying Twice didn't have to die. He did not have to die.
See, that's where I disagree. Twice needed to go. Twice needed to go, but Hawks went about it in the
Twice was
worst way
Twice
possible.
wasn't really a villain.
It's his
He was a nigga who was
it's
stuck.
his potential.
But that doesn't matter.
His potential had.
I mean, with that
They
logic,
already-
you might as well
Hold on,
just get
'cause
rid
hold
of
on.
all
Yes.
of the
Yeah.
core people that have
But
potential
that's
to be
what I'm
a
That's the whole story of My Hero. That is literally the story.
No, it's
Razor.
not.
No,
It's
it's
to
not.
tell everybody
Ray's a
what
villain.
works.
Villain. I thought I was a villain. Ray's a villain.
The crux of the My Hero story is the crux of the story of My Hero is the escalating potential of these quirks.
Right.
That is literally the crux of the story.
So
What?
your answer,
All right. What did Toga do with Sad Man's Parade? What did Toga do with
Use
it?
it to try
Ray.
to fight face.
Ray.
Use it to try to
Ray.
fight face.
But listen,
Why?
listen,
Let me ask you
listen.
something, Ray. If you're a nigga who literally did nothing and was trapped, right?
Hmm?
So let's say Tone's trapped, he's down bad, and he's just
I'm
trying to
hearing
make
such
shit work.
blasphemy
and some nigga
words
come out
right
of nowhere,
now.
and some nigga comes out of nowhere and kills Tone, right? As your homie,
I'm
homie,
gonna get their run back. We
Right,
running it back.
exactly. You know why? Because Tone didn't do nothing just like Twice. Twice was robbing.
And that's the other thing,
Bruh.
too.
He was
What?
doing petty crimes.
Hold on.
And the government considered him
Hold
a
on.
problem.
Hold on.
Right?
Because
No one
of
gave-
his quirk.
No, listen to me. In Twice's backstory, he was
Well, I'm
known
literally
for doing
talking
petty
about-
theft. He
Oh,
was
no,
known-
yeah, okay, yeah,
He was
yeah.
known for literally doing petty theft because he was lazy and he said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna use my quirk to do all my other shit." And all his other quirks wound up getting in petty crimes that the real Twice didn't have
do.
any trouble in, right? So what did society do? The same thing that society does now. They threw him in jail, and when they got out, they said, "You're a fucking liability. We don't want nothing to do with you." And he was stuck.
Yes.
And he went to the only niggas that took him in. And
I
he-
understand that. What I'm saying is Hawks went about it terribly.
Right.
But just look at what Toga did with the quirk. Now imagine had he still been alive working with the villain.
But can I say something? Can I say something? Because you're not taking into account. You're taking. Yes, I get.
only looking
I
at the
understand
ability,
what you're-
bruh.
But the
Because
only
that's
reason.
why Hawks did it. That's why he had to go.
hold on.
Forgetting who
There-
Twice mentally and physically is.
But-
Twice has had more than
We're,
one
we're
occasion.
talking about the human nature
Yes.
of one person,
More
Ray.
than one
We're
occasion
talking
to
about a
use
human
Sad Man's
nature.
Parade. From the time he learned Sad Man's Parade to the time he died, he had at least 5 chances where he could have done Sad Man's Parade and done absolute damage, right?
And he didn't.
And he chose not to because he's self-aware. He knows how big. If Hawks, who he has already said he was cool with, came to him and said, "Listen, homie," and Twice knew that the whole association considered him a dunce, but he knew his worth, right? If Hawks was real with him and went to Twice and said, "Listen, dog," instead of putting knives to him and saying, "You can change your life," all this other shit. Listen, homie, you know that you're a fucking, you know you're some big deal. They treat you like shit here, bro. Let's get you out of here. Then do the raid. Cool.
I'm not arguing that. That's not what
That's
I'm
what I'm
arguing.
saying.
That's
But
what
if
we're
he-
saying. He
if-
didn't.
if he-
We're literally saying he didn't need
If
to
Hawks,
die.
if Hawks, we're saying, Ray,
He
we're
just
saying that if Hawks did that, that could have changed the entire. If he said,
You're
"Look,
sayed that he needed to die. He didn't.
here, this is what this is what I'm saying."
Night Eye, sure, whatever. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Night Eye, yeah.
If
Whatever.
Hawks,
Kill them all.
if Hawks showed up and said, "Listen, I can get you and Toga out of here," perfect. Because keep in mind,
Toga,
him
yeah.
and Toga was the only other person that he gave a fuck about. He
Yep.
didn't care about Spinner. He didn't care. He didn't care about Shigaraki.
He was cool with Shigaraki.
He was
didn't really
cool
give
with
a
them.
fuck.
Yeah.
He didn't care about. He was there because of Toga.
Yep.
Toga clapped back because they killed her nigga.
Twice.
Yep.
Yep.
So if
Don't kill twice.
if Toga only cared about Twice, really,
Do I?
she liked Shigaraki.
Again, I'll say this. Hawks did it the worst possible way. Should he have approached Twice and try to convince him? Yes.
That's what we're saying
My
though.
next question to you: did Twice need to die then?
That's what we're saying. If
Here's
if
the
Hawks
thing.
came correct,
'Cause there's a big if.
no,
There
listen,
is a big
this is
no
the
if.
no. This is the question.
Did Twice need to die?
If Hawks
If he
came
stays
correct,
a villain, yes.
you're
If he
not
stays
listening.
a villain,
Listen.
Twice that ability cannot be given to the
Hawks-
villain's access to use.
if Hawks came correct, Ray,
Do I think Twice would have
Hawks
switched
came-
sides? Yes.
that's the point. That's what we're saying. If Hawks didn't go about shit the way he did, Twice wouldn't have had
But
to die.
let's look at.
We're saying
Hawks.
in general-
he's a very cold and calculated person who does not think
but
highly of
Hawks
people.
liked Twice.
Yeah, and he
Hawks
fine.
liked
And
Twice.
He said it. He was like, "I actually fuck with you, my nigga. It'd be it's gonna be kind of shit. It's gonna be kind of shit when we do this raid. Ask the nigga to come to your side.
Yes.
He is the ultimate key. Just ask the question. Worst case scenario, he says no, and you do the raid
Here's
anyway.
the thing: is I understand the fear that Hawks had of Twice's ability, to where he was just like, "No, you gotta go. I don't even want to risk it." I understand it. Was it wrong? Yes.
Unnecessary.
I just understand.
I
it.
don't think it was necessary.
Unnecessary.
Because guess what? If Twice was still alive, they wouldn't have had to worry about. Yeah, they
Man,
would.
I'm just gonna say what it is. There are so many heroes quotation mark that has
Right.
dumb ass
They did real
quotes
dumb
that is
shit.
actual a problem for the worldwide. All it takes is but a blow of a whistle for them to be like, you know what? Fuck humanity. I'm
Yeah,
available
but they're
now.
heroes,
Like
so they
Lady
get that
Nagano.
pass.
Like Lady Nagano.
Villains can't do
No,
that.
hell no, I don't give a fuck about that. Ain't no way.
Lady
Hell no.
Nagano.
That's how their world operates.
And
That is
doing-
literally how their world operates.
Lady Nagant was doing dirty work her entire life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Her entire life. And she literally went to the director and was like, "Listen, I'm fucked up in the head. I cannot do this. I am questioning right from wrong. I need out." And he laughed in her face and said, "Bitch, go back to work. Otherwise, you ain't gonna be doing nothing for nobody." So what did she do? What 98% of most niggas in her situation would think about doing? She wasted that nigga.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Click, bang. Right? And what they do, put her in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are so many parts of the My Hero world where it's like, if you just sit back and think, like, if you treated them like a person for
Yeah.
5 seconds,
You
Look
would
at-
be fine.
Literally
Look
all
at
that
you
Yep.
would
That's why
have half of the
Toga.
half
That's
the
To-
niggas that
that's
they
Toga's
locked
story.
up. Half the,
that's literally Toga's whole story.
Well,
Well, he's misunderstood.
over half the people that they locked up in fucking what is it, Tartarus, whatever they
Yep.
call it. Half
Yep.
the people they locked up in there are
Well,
just.
there's 7 different prisons.
Well,
Tartarus
yeah.
is where all for one.
That's where all from was at, but like, which is the the deepest.
It's the big,
But
deep
like,
prison. That's right.
their facilities that they have where they threw like there was a lot of like small time like villains that they threw in there that were
that's
just
the
like
whole reason why All For One was able to convince them to join his army.
Another complaint, and I was thinking about this the other day, and it just came to my fact because you brought up Tardis. You know what never made sense to me? So, season 3 Overhaul, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Overhaul gets his hands taken. He gets put in Tardis. All For One breaks out of Tardis. He then tells Lady Nagant and Overhaul, which, mind you, Overhaul is a mental fucking wreck. He hasn't been mentally sane.
He's
since
basically a
Shinraki
vegetable.
took his hands.
Yeah.
He's basically a vegetable.
Still has his quirk. Mind you, still has his quirk. Tells Lady Nagant and Overhaul, hey, I need you to go hunt Deku. Why didn't you take Overhaul's quirk? Why? Why? That made no sense. No, think about it. You have the power of alchemy. Anything you touch, you can deconstruct, reconstruct, and manipulate any way you want. Any way you want, right? All For One is known to have regeneration quirks, multiple quirks on stockpile within himself. You could have given, and he also gave Lady Nagant the ability to float. Mind you, why didn't you beef up Overhaul or take one of his quirks?
Because I feel like he probably seen. I think Overhaul is just done. I think he's one of those. He's like
But that gives the
That's
case.
so sad.
It
that's
is.
So why was he even there?
Well, if he he is pretty much done. It doesn't make sense that he would just let that quirk go.
What do you mean?
Or that All For One would just be like, all right, you don't have no need for that quirk. That quirk, that's a valuable quirk. That quirk in the right hands
yeah,
could be
but
done.
this is All For One we're talking about. So
you
like
have a nigga who physically is unable to use his quirk,
and it's
Yeah.
a good one.
and you're gonna let him run free.
That's the thing.
I
That's why
feel
I
like-
can understand that
Just
sentiment.
Think about that. Like that doesn't make logical sense.
I feel like that's probably just a.
That's a fumble.
I feel
Huge fumble.
Yeah.
or that can just show how fucking sadistic All For One
I
is.
was just an awful
Leave
one. I
him
was
with
just
leave him
thinking-
with the
You gotta
quirk.
think.
Leave him with a
The quirk he can't use.
a quirk that is very concerning. That
But see, like, here's the thing, though. Like, to that, like, I do hear you. Overhaul wasn't stepping on All For One.
It don't matter.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You gotta
You
think-
forget. Well, like we talked about earlier, he's a narcissist.
Yeah,
he
and
doesn't
he's fucking
care.
crazy.
He doesn't
Over-
care.
He's a
Overhaul.
literal ball of
He probably just
chaos.
saw a broke nigga with no hands and was just like,
Keep
He
in
probably
mind,
laughed at him and then
all
said, "He like,
all
"Ha."
the quirks that
Damn.
All For One goes after are quirks that he wants. So
He don't
Probably
want
just-
that.
he
quirk.
obviously he's not too worried about it if he doesn't want it.
that's crazy.
Fucked
think-
up, ain't it?
Well, if you
Yeah,
think
like,
about
that's
it,
Yeah.
literally, like-
if you think about it, he's probably
villain.
got so many quirks in him that you gotta touch me to use that quirk on me.
Not even
not
touch.
you.
No, but see, that's the thing. It's matter, whether it be living or inanimate matter.
Yeah.
It is literally Full Metal Alchemist in a quirk.
Yeah.
Deconstruct. It is literally the law of equivalent exchange.
Yeah.
So, like, granted, I do hear you. You know, All Might's probably stacked up so many quirks. Or all
That it's just not
he's
impressive
just
to
like, I
him.
probably got that somewhere deep in the back.
He's like,
Yeah.
I could probably mimic that.
Yeah, I could mimic something close to that. You know, if I take 3 quirks and jumble them together, I can do something like that. But I always thought that was low key fucking.
No, I
thought that was-
because
Yeah.
I agree because I remember there was a scene where All For One is the prison broke.
Yeah.
All For One was out. You see Stain creeping in the background, and Lady Nagant and Overhaul are there,
Yeah.
and Overhaul's sitting there in his like little suit.
His little straight jacket.
Yeah.
Dad,
Yeah,
Dad, I gotta let to my dad.
Yeah.
It's like, you gonna fix
and I'm like, oh, the second I seen that, I'm like, he's done. Like, that's just probably what it is. Like,
When he was on that tower, when he was on the tower during the Lady Nagant fight, just doing nothing, that's when I knew he was done.
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, why is this nigga here? Like,
I ain't gonna lie. Nah, so when he came out on the tower and Lady Nagant was just like, all right, so you said you's a hero, right? And pointed her gun at Overhaul. In my mind, I was like, so this is how they're gonna use him. They're gonna
kill him.
Lady Nagant is gonna blast this nigga's brains all over this building,
And it's gonna-
Deku's gonna lose his shit, and
Yeah.
he's gonna beat the fuck out.
That's
of him.
literally what I thought.
But then he winds up being faster than a bullet, and I was like, okay, so we're just gonna show off how fucking fast it. Okay, all right. So this nigga really still serves no purpose.
Yeah, you could have put anybody there.
one of my favorite moments in that part of the show is when Deku was like, you know, he was distancing himself from Emmett or UA, and he's just running around the city fighting villains. And old boy, fucking the muscle dude from the forest.
Yeah, muscular.
He shows up out of fucking nowhere. He sees Deku and he goes, "It's you!" And Deku goes, "You don't want it, bro. You do
don't.
not want
Yo,
it."
this nigga Deku was on borrowed time. He was so over it. He literally was like, yeah, I've been waiting for your ass. And Deku's like, nigga,
No, you don't.
You don't want a single part of this problem.
He-
He's like, nah, nigga, I've been training just for you. And Deku's like, why do you? I ain't even know. He tells him too. He's like, I would try to talk you out of it, but you just seem like a dumb boneheaded nigga.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what. And he just squats up. I'm gonna give you one shot. Make a break. That nigga one shot the fuck out of him. I was like,
Yeah, no,
That panel was quick.
that was
I
just
love
back.
that.
I was like, muscular used to
I
be
was
a
swiping
threat.
it. I was swiping. I was like,
Well,
Remember?
'cause-
1
that was
million
awesome.
percent.
Yeah, Deku had to use 1,000,000% smash to subdue him.
To subdue him, he knocked that nigga clean out. I was like,
Left his ass in a ditch too
in the wet.
for the police.
In the wet.
Dog, if I was muscular, don't let me wake
Don't
up
let
in the
me out.
Yeah,
don't
that
let me
nigga,
wake up.
he put
If I
the
wake
gloves
up in
up
the
after
ditch, I'm
that.
pissed. Let me wake up in police custody.
Yeah, no, he put the gloves up after that. He said,
and don't let
"Nope."
me ever find out you just left me in that ditch.
fuck the hands. I'm gonna try to shoot you.
Exactly. Don't let me.
I'm gonna try to shoot you.
My thing was that nigga literally knocked him out, picked him up, and as he's tying him up, you know when the other niggas hunting me. As the nigga's knocked out, you sleep. Come on, nigga. I'm like, bro.
He's done.
Well, it was funny because Deku deadass treated him like
trash.
he wasn't
Yeah.
even the villain of the week. He was the villain of the day. He was just like,
Villain of that hour.
yeah, he was like,
Hour of
Villain
the hour.
Nah, that nigga was villain of the coast.
Yeah.
Niggas was literally just like, hey, bro, you see that dirty ass nigga that be going around? Yeah, bro, he only be beating up villains. Ain't that nigga a villain though?
yeah.
That nigga was so dirty. Niggas was getting him confused. Like he was whipping that much ass.
I will say there is one of the panels.
Those panels were.
There was one of the panels where he had on the full mask.
Yep.
That
And
nigga
his
looked
stu-
like a problem.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, if he was a villain, if Deku was a villain,
Nah, see, I ain't gonna lie. That I know exactly what panel you talking about. If I saw a nigga like that walking around, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna cross the street. Fuck the street. I'm gonna cross to the next town. Fuck that. No problem.
But I think that's gonna be it for this episode.
Yeah.
We're getting up there in the time. I think we went like 20 minutes over or some shit. 10 minutes over probably. Yeah, be alright. Y'all get a few extra minutes.
See y'all next.
we'll see y'all later.
See y'all next time on the hood.